All right, so part 3 of the goated tier list. You got Draco here as always. You got my boy Stebo. He's actually
As
not fucking
always.
half dead this time. You got my
My
boy
pleasure.
Rackham. What's up, Rackham?
What's good?
It's
What's up, guys?
Rakeem.
You racking them bills up?
Rakeem, bro.
Rakeem's
Bro,
dead.
you're racking. You're racking them bills up. What you mean?
It's the GOAT, you know?
Rakeem's
It's the
loaded,
best
so
rapper
yeah.
ever. Come on.
He's always stacking. Commas.
Stebo, are you eating something?
Yeah,
We just hope when you do that.
my
Alright,
bad.
so move on to the first person, Kyoshiro. So one thing I'll say about him is I know a lot of people already downplay him from the jump just because Zoro clashed with him. But even if you don't think Zoro's as strong as I think he is, you can't really scale Kyoshiro to Zoro's level in that clash because it seemed like Kyoshiro wasn't really trying that much. He seemed pretty casual. I mean, he wasn't sweating and Zoro wasn't enraged. We know when Zoro gets fucking enraged, like, shit's a problem. And Kyoshiro seemed to be holding him off relatively easily. I will say that it's not confirmed that he's on Zoro's level from that clash alone, despite that, because Zoro didn't use Ashura. So it's kind of up in the air. But he did have an impressive showing, especially when Zoro, while he was fighting Fuji, he clashed with him equally the first time, and then he got caught off guard by the gravity. He was on his back in a resting position. I think everyone knows how much harder it is to exert force when you're in a resting position on your fucking back and shit. And despite that, while under gravity, he fucking overpowered Fuji, sent him back like 5 feet. And meanwhile, Zoro now, even though he has an injury, he didn't have all those disadvantages, and fucking Kyoshiro just sent that shit swatting away. It was really fucking impressive compared to Fuji, who's, you know, a fucking admiral. And Fuji, he was able to block Gear 3rd. The first time he fought Gear 3rd, he got caught off guard and then he got sent flying a bit. He had like a little scuff mark the second time. Granted, it was a smaller Gear 3rd, but he was able to stand his ground and block it completely. And then this is the same Gear 3rd that was able to equal out with Big Mom. I know Steve will actually think Sanji's strong, so Sanji played a part in that, but no, Sanji's a fucking bug. Get out of here. So we know Gear 3rd is capable of clashing equally. Maybe not with all Yonkos, maybe Big Meme's just trash, but he was capable of equally clashing with Big Mom. And then we see how that scales to Fuji, and Zoro was able to put up a comparable feat despite all those disadvantages. So that's really impressive on Kyoshiro's part to be able to just swat away a 720-pound cannon like that. And he's probably massively holding back, or at least holding back to some extent. Despite all that, that's not really the reason why I have him so high. The main reason I have him so high is because I think with how much Wano has been hyped up, it'd be kind of fucking garbage for their strongest swordsman to be king, someone who's not even from Wano. I feel like to maintain the prestige of Wano, the strongest swordsman in that island has to be someone from Wano, an actual Wano descendant. And I think it would just be a travesty if Oda just disrespects the Wano samurai completely. He already has done it to a great extent, but enough is enough at some point. Like, show them some fucking respect. Give the strongest samurai in Wano some fucking hype. Don't make him like the second fiddle swordsman. I just think that's fucking garbage. So I think Zoro's gonna fight Kyoshiro after he fights King. I feel like King is just a warm-up for Kyoshiro. I know a lot of people feel like it's the opposite, like Kyoshiro is gonna be the warm-up and then he's gonna fight King. I just disagree. So what do y'all think about that?
All right, who wants to go first? Do you want me to go?
Someone go.
I'll go. So wait. So do you think this is the because you have Kyoshiro above who's that dude? The warden guy. You have Shiryu. You have
No, it's
Kyoshiro
not.
above
It's not in
Shiryu,
order.
right?
I think Shiryu's stronger.
You think Shiryu's stronger? Okay, okay. That's the only thing I had, but
That was your only problem.
I still think Shiryu's a tier above him. You know what I mean? A bit above him. That's
I
just
think that's fair. But my reasoning is I think Shiryu is still gonna get stronger. By the next time we see him, he'll be S, and then maybe even S plus by the time they fight in Rafto. I just think since it's like he hasn't had the fruit for that long, presumably, that he still has a lot to improve on the fruit. So I would just put him S when he has like really high mastery of the fruit. That would be my reasoning.
Okay. So I'd have like end of series Shiryu probably like S probably. That's where I'd have him.
Yeah,
I wouldn't put him S plus personally.
What do you think about
Yeah.
Kyoshiro in comparison to Cat? I know a lot of people would have a problem with me having him like fucking.
Katakuri?
Yeah, 3 tiers higher than Cat.
Yeah, I don't think he's 3 tiers higher than Cat, but
All right, so what's your idea
uh,
on Luffy and
I
Zoro
think
in comparison to Cat?
I think Katakuri is stronger than Kyoshiro personally.
Really? So where do you have Kyoshiro in comparison to Zoro?
I have Zoro over Kyoshiro, obviously.
So do you think?
I think Zoro all out would probably mid diff him.
Okay.
You know what I
So
mean?
what about Zoro versus King? Zoro all out.
Zoro probably the same.
The
You know what I
same?
mean?
That's
About the same,
respectable.
yeah. You know what I mean? But like that's just Zoro with the Emerald Blade because the Emerald Blade is fucking broken. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't think Zoro's gonna have like a super hard fight. Personally, I don't think he's gonna have a super hard fight. I think what's gonna happen is, do you remember in how in Thriller Bark where he fought that one dude with 2 swords and he Ryuma? Remember he beat Ryuma, but that was like a mid diff for him.
Yeah.
And then he went out and he fought Moria and his zombie, right? So that's how I feel the fight's gonna go. Where so the fights Zoro's gonna have are gonna be like mid diff fights for him, but he's gonna get power ups from them, and then he's gonna go on to fight Kaido as like the big boss. Like everyone else, everyone's gonna join up together to fight Kaido, the big boss. You know what I mean? That's what I think is gonna happen.
My question to that is, don't you think at some fucking point Zoro has to have a high diff fight with a swordsman other than Mihawk? Like he has to have like
Yeah,
some
that
other
would be
legendary
Shiryu.
sword fight. You think
That'd be
it's
Shiryu
Shiryu?
in my opinion.
So then are you
Yeah,
fine with just one? I feel like he needs to have like a list of swordsmen.
I think he'll have a couple.
I mean,
I
you can
think
say Gandhi too. You
pure.
can say Gandhi too.
I think the Gandhi guy, yeah, like one of the Gorosei. I also think pure swordsmanship wise, he might run into someone like that in Wano. You know what I mean? Like it might be Kyoshiro. Like Kyoshiro might be like some crazy pure swordsman kind of shit that Mihawk does or whatever. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Some
Yeah, that'd be my idea. Because
yeah,
I
that's
think
the
you were
only
gonna
way
say like
I
maybe someone like in the shadows other than Kyoshiro, and it's kind of like what Trippy said, where he's like Imu's not strong, but there's someone in the shadows who is gonna be the final boss. So I'm like, just a second Imu instead of just Imu being that guy. Like
yeah.
what?
If there's a second evil, that's trash.
Emu's trash, and then there's a second Emu. He's the true final boss. Like, oh man.
Yeah, but like you gotta understand, like all the kid, like the stars are still getting power ups as we go. Like Luffy's not gonna get this power up and go beat Kaido now. He's obviously gonna lose again. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
this, I think he's gonna lose again, right? And then what I think is gonna happen is Luffy's gonna get awakening, right? Because that's been foreshadowed for a bunch with Katakuri and Dolphy both using it,
Yeah, I
right?
mean,
So
when
I feel
Cat's
like
like,
Luffy's
of
gonna get
course I have
awakening.
awakening, then of course Luffy has to get it pretty soon.
Yeah, so I feel like it's being foreshadowed a bunch. So Luffy's gonna get that. That's gonna be another power up, and then what else do you think? Do you think he's gonna get another power up, or do you think he's just gonna get awakening? I think he's gonna get
Honestly,
another hockey power up on top.
I see more hockey power ups and maybe even Gear 5 too, honestly.
Yeah,
But to
but
your point, that
you know
actually.
Zoro in
Go ahead.
comparison to Luffy, like his hockey is just way above. Like people think
We'll get to that. Hold your
I'm
horses.
trolling, but like I'm being serious. You know what I mean? Like I actually thought about it. It's crazy.
I think it's a fair argument, but let me say this. So I
Uh,
agree that they're gonna get a lot more power ups, but I feel like that's even more reason to say that Kyoshiro pushes Zoro to high diff because he'll give him the necessary challenge to power up and evolve or hockey bloom.
okay.
Do you see that happening? I think that's a pretty fair assessment.
So if that does happen, I feel like Zoro would have like a personal nerf or something. You know what I mean? Like it'd be challenging on Zoro because Zoro nerfed himself personally. Like maybe he used the Emma blade and it's like it's fucking him up or some shit. Or I don't think that's gonna happen. But maybe some other way where like he's like, oh, I'm not gonna use Ashura or whatever or some other thing. You know what I mean? So I think he's
That'd be
gonna
kind of
personally nerf
weird.
himself. Yeah, it'd be some weird shit. You know what I mean? But like I don't think Kyoshiro is never ever gonna take Zoro to high diff. Like I don't see that.
I
Like
mean, we'll
Zoro
see.
all out. You know what I mean? You know Zoro all out. Like, that's
Yeah, but
come on.
then Zoro, like, you can argue he did go all out without Ashura when he attacked Kyoshiro.
Uh-huh.
Like, he was fucking enraged at that point, and to just hold off and enrage Zoro so easily, like, it's fucking impressive.
Okay, so you think Zoro right now, um, he'd have to take a Ashura, right? You think he'd have to do that to like
To beat
get
Kyoshiro,
Kyoshiro
yeah,
to?
from what we know.
Okay, okay. I see. I see. I don't think that personally.
Yeah, we'll see what
Yeah,
happens.
but
Draco, Steve-O, you
but
got anything to add?
I would like that. I'd like that actually.
I just don't. My whole thing was the only reason I don't. I kind of agree with Rakim about him not
Rack 'em.
taking him to high diff is because if we all agree that Zoro's gonna have, let's say, even multiple fights, and if multiple fights, including having that part to do with Kaido, people have him facing off Kiyoshiro, then King, then doing something with Kaido. I mean, that's all gonna happen in this war. I doubt his fight with Kiyoshiro would like tax him that much. So next time he fights someone that same arc, he would be in a way nerfed. So I don't think he'd ever take him to high diff. That's if he's fighting him, which I don't know. I don't see because like people have a whole theory about Kiyoshiro actually being a good guy or whatever. So that's why I side with. I don't think that Kiyoshiro is ever going to be an enemy against us because that side is way too stacked. So if he'll fight King, I think King is stronger than Kiyoshiro. I don't know. I don't know if you talked about why you think he's stronger than Cap, but why do you think he's stronger than King? When
I
King is
already
supposed to
mentioned
be
it.
like
I
that.
said I feel like Oda needs to maintain the prestige of Wano's swordsman or samurai.
He already shot on them. Like
I mean, he didn't really shit on Kyoshiro yet. And then
yeah, but
Shiten
like
is
one
okay.
guy is not gonna really hold the esteem when we've seen everyone else not be
The
as.
esteem was Odin. He was the last one. Like, but they killed him.
Yeah, Odin pretty much held the
Mhm.
esteem by himself. And then Ryuma
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
before
what
but
I'm
him.
saying.
yeah, but those guys are like special. Like I don't think Yoshiro's gonna be on that level of
Yeah,
specialness in
yeah.
comparison to them.
I don't think he's no. I don't think he's any
I
Odin.
think the
You know what I
best
mean?
swordsman on the side of Kaido is King in terms of like all of them, and
That
that's gonna be
sword.
fucking Zoro's
Yeah, I agree with
Zoro's
that.
like main fight this arc. I
Yeah,
don't know. I get that vibe from
I
it, but like
believe. I
I don't
believe
really have
King
much.
has a good ornaments. King probably has like the best ornaments.
I don't have like much like just like my head canon how I see the arc going, and it's like to use what you said about him blocking the 700-pound cannon. That I feel like Oda was telling us this guy's a fucking tough guy. Like the way he like shrugged it off, and then Zoro was panting while this guy was like laughing at him. It made it seem like there's like a gap, at least at that moment. Like he's no slouch in what the energy that Zoro was giving out versus Kiyoshiro. There was a gap there. Kiyoshiro was stronger than the energy that Zoro was giving out at that moment. So he'll have to. I don't think you have to go Ashura, but he'll have to get close to all out to beat Kiyoshiro. But when it comes to let's say King, I feel like that's gonna be like a number Mr. One type fight where this man is like brink of death type shit.
Okay.
But if he goes brink of death, how much do you see him doing against Kaido?
That's the thing. Like I don't know like the gaps in his
It might
fighting
be a
is all
second
gonna
fight,
be
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
I'm
hard to
saying
tell how
like
much time in general
yeah,
is gonna go on in this
exactly yeah.
battle.
So
Yeah.
like I don't even I troll when I say Zoro's beating Kaido, but like I could see Zoro just doing this one thing where they're all fighting and like he just had like a tremendous fight with King where he's like fucking fucked up, and he
hmm
all he can muster is one attack that would damage Kaido like fuck him up like just end my attack or whatever his
Like be the
awareness.
first one. Be the first one to hurt him, eh?
Yeah,
Some shit
something
like
like that.
that.
Where like he does one attack and that gives everyone else an opening to like capitalize on. I don't think Zoro's gonna be like in that fight the entire time. He could come like
That's
halfway through
respectable.
the King
That's
fight.
respectable.
Yeah, I
But
think
the
at the
way,
very least,
Because
Zoro needs to
some
give
people
Kaido
won't
a
admit
bigger
that.
scar than Odin did. So it could
yeah,
like symbolize
you know
him
what's crazy
surpassing
though?
Odin.
I also like it's my headcanon also thought that it's gonna be at least I want the only way that like I can side with you, Jockins, is if like I go with my headcanon of Marco fighting King. There's like the fruit versus fruit comparison. Like Marco's fruit is a bit better than King's fruit, and I want to see that like two flying guys that can like have regen fight each other, like fucking like a slugfest.
You
But
really
then the
want
only thing
Marco
that's
to get his final L, huh?
it's not gonna be an L, bro. He's gonna fucking beat King. Like, he has to beat King if he fights him. You know, that's the only way I
I
can
don't know
see
about
him.
that.
Zoro. I mean, I don't
How
watch.
long do you think the chapters
What'd you
Hmm?
say?
that fight? How long do you think that fight takes? Like how many chapters? One
Off
chapter
screen, but like let's say,
off screen.
yeah,
Off
yeah,
screen. Jesus.
it's definitely gonna be off screen. Marco versus King. Like we're
Easy.
gonna come back to it. Like this, that like fucking King versus Peckham's versus Tamago type shit. Not Peckham's. Pedro. Like we just go there, come back, go there, come back type shit.
I mean, yeah, but you made it seem like most of it or like the whole thing is gonna be off screen. I feel like we'll get some like critical moments if it happens.
Yeah, of course. Like, but like it's not gonna be like a full fight where we see on screen. Is what I meant by off screen. Like Oda always does that way. He like starts fights and goes away from them, comes back for a couple clashes, goes away from them, and comes back for the final fight. He isn't truly fully off screen and main fight in this arc.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, going back to your original point, I don't have Kishiro that high. I have him like below Luffy. So
What
he
about
was-
comparison to
Draco,
Cat?
post your list. Post yours. Where's yours?
I don't
He
know
doesn't
where
have one.
mine is. Like JB said, it's safe somewhere. I don't know where it is. But what's his name? I would say he's like weaker than Luffy, Kid, Zoro, King, Marco, Sabo. Who's the last guy on that?
That's Blackbeard, but only with his darkness fruit.
Weaker than that guy too. So I would have him A. That's where I put him. Kishiro. Not S, like outside. I put him. That's mine.
Okay. Steve-O?
Yeah, how's it going?
Did Rakeem
This
say where he
guy.
has him? Rakeem, where do you have him on this list in comparison to other people? I think he mentioned it, but I
Who?
just didn't catch it.
Who?
Kyoshiro.
I have him like around King probably, like but below him. You know what I mean? I don't think he's stronger than King.
Yeah, well, similar to where I have him then.
Yeah, Steve-O, give your opinions on Kyoshiro.
Okay. I think he's pretty strong, but probably not as strong as you guys do.
So, where would you have him?
I guess he's probably like he's definitely commander level, and I would say he's among the first commanders, but maybe weaker than all of them except for one.
I agree with that.
Who's that one? Is it Fodder or Curry?
It might be Katakuri.
Yeah, I can see him being stronger than
Um,
Katakuri.
Might be
I think
Katakuri.
he's weaker than Katakuri.
It might be
I can see it stronger, but I don't know if I believe that myself. I'll try to find my list, but it's not. I'll just DM it to you, Rakeem, if I find it.
You know what? Nah, I think they're all stronger.
Do you think?
But
Do you think he could beat Cracker?
He would be like the first,
Oh, yeah, for
the
No,
sure.
weakest first
I don't
commander.
think he
Problem.
beats Cracker.
I don't think he
You don't
struggles
think
at
so?
all.
I don't. I think Cracker is like equal to him. That's a perfect comparison for me.
You
I
think he
don't
could
know
get
what
to
you have
Cracker
for
then? Okay.
Yeah, I think he's comparable to Cracker Katakuri. That's where I have him. Kishiro.
I
His
already
Jozu
think
as
his
well.
feats of deflecting an enraged Zoro like that are arguably better than Cracker's, and he's barely gotten to show anything.
I mean, disagreeing in quoting Ty.
You
I
think
disagree.
enraged? You think enraged Zoro is stronger than Gear Force
Then
Luffy?
And Gear Third Luffy, like I don't think so at
Not
all.
stronger than Gear 4th, but Gear 4th is stronger than Cracker, too.
It's not.
Yeah, but Cracker
nullified
repelled
it.
Gear Force though.
Yeah, he nullified
That
it
might be
completely.
fact,
He repelled the weaker Gear 4th.
A weaker? You mean like
bro.
as in
Bro.
he wasn't as strong as he is
What
right
do you mean?
now?
Yeah,
What
I'm
weaker
talking about
Gear
current Luffy.
Yeah, current Luffy, like he upgraded his Gear 4 with his feature
So
set.
you think Zoro's stronger than that Luffy right now?
Yeah. It's just when you ask me how does he compare to Gear 4, I automatically assume it's the current Gear 4.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't think-
I don't think that.
I don't think anything that Luffy added, unless he completely mastered his VO shit, is
Well,
makes
Gear
him
4 is like a
stronger.
multiplier, and we saw his base stats got improved in the cat fight. Basically, the hockey blooming thing on top of just physical strain. We already got that dialogue from Zoro where he's like, after every island, we grow stronger, and it's pretty obvious that they grow stronger because they get injured or they have to overcome something, and that physical stress improves them in some way.
Yeah,
Basically
and
shown
that
in
could-
fucking-
The same can be said for Cracker if he's alive. Like that would make him stronger.
I
Stronger as
mean,
well.
you can argue Cracker's
I
already reached
definitely
his
think
peak.
Luffy got stronger, but I just don't see like Zoro being stronger than that Luffy right now.
I gotta. What chapter was that? Wano versus Luffy versus Zoro versus Kishiro fight. Yeah, I remember. Maybe probably
No
not.
clue.
I have no
I
idea.
think it was 955 because all the trolls kept saying Zoro was gonna die in 955 because of some cover page.
Yeah,
Damn, we're past the 950s.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
We're
either
at
that or
973, I think.
945.
Yeah, like I don't know what Steve said, but I feel like we all have like differentiating areas where we'd have Kyoshiro.
Well, let me
Might-
see your list.
You might have
Jonathan.
cut off
Hold
what
on.
Steve was saying, right? Like, see what you done?
You just said 973. Yeah, if you want to add more, you can.
I mean, that's pretty much it. I got Kyoshiro as like the weakest first commander, basically.
All right.
I don't even have him as first commander. I feel like he's mid-range commander level. Like, cause
Yo,
I think I have him at the same level as
Junkins.
Katakuri and Cracker.
So,
So you said you have Zoro beating Luffy, right?
no, I didn't say that.
Or whatever.
I
What
said
would
they're
you
the
say?
same tier.
You
You could
said they're the
probably go
same
either
tier.
way. Yeah, same
So
tier.
you think they're equals? Okay. You
Yeah,
think the
about
same with
there.
Kid?
Yeah, pretty much. The
Okay.
Holy Trinity.
All right, makes sense. So you think that do you think they're gonna like end the series be like the three strongest pirates? Is that what you kind of think is
Yeah,
gonna go?
either them or Blackbeard. I'm not really completely decided on if Blackbeard's above him or not. I kind of feel like he isn't because I don't feel like he has their willpower.
That
But
chapter
yeah,
was
I have
Okay.
him like
945,
around
by
top
the way.
5.
What about the other supernova? You think any of them are gonna be that strong or no?
We'll get to it later, but I feel like Drake's a future admiral, so I rate him kind of highly. I have him in the same tier as Cat.
Okay.
Yo, I sleep on Drake. I think he's trash. I
What?
don't think he's like I don't think he's that much stronger than Sanji.
Bro, all right, we'll get to that, but bro, you
I
fucking
think
shrugged him
Joju's
off like a
trash.
fly.
Yeah, but he did nothing to him as well. Like,
It was a tail whip, dude.
Joju's trash.
yeah,
He's
but
like,
like he couldn't do anything to Sanji himself either. Like he had to go. Like I don't know why he went full form against the fastest warrior like
yay,
Sanji.
that's facts. Yo,
It's
you have
whack.
Gion and Shaitan. You have
All right, yeah,
Gion and
that was
Shaitan.
dumb,
That's
but
facts.
I don't really think it's fair to say that he's not that much stronger than Sanji because he couldn't one shot him with a tail whip when Sanji like did nothing to him.
Yeah,
Yo,
they basically did nothing to each other. So like neither was more impressive than the other.
No,
I'm
no,
still waiting
Sanji
on-
actually like hit him like a fly. Like X Drake didn't get pushed back at all, while Drake sent him flying and gave him a mark on the face.
Bro, Sanji did some weird shit. He just tapped his head.
Bro, Sanji
Yeah,
was
I
so
don't know what
trash
that was.
that niggas acted like he kicked off him to get fucking a boost so he can jump up in the air.
Oh shit, that was funny.
It was some trash
Yeah,
ass
but like,
shit.
yo, Junkins, I see Gion and Shaitan and like, hey, like, looks pretty similar to Milas. You know what I mean? For some reason.
Bro,
Let me see your list,
failed
dog.
at this man failed on getting Sanji that was even looking at him. He has observation hockey, I guess, but slow ass Drake.
Bro, Drake speed blitz Sanji.
No, he like I'm saying when Sanji was holding the chick, the baby with a smiles a lot, he had to try to attack him from behind like on some fucking white beard, like Kainu shit, and he completely missed.
Alright, yeah. Wasn't it that when he was gonna fucking bite him and shit?
Yeah. Fucking idiot. Why are you like, going on so slowest form possibly versus a speed beat?
Alright,
speed
yeah.
beat?
Oda's not gonna show him fucking landing a lethal bite on Sanji, but when Sanji actually tried to attack him, he got speed blitzed by the tail whip. And is in his slowest form, so if anything you can argue he might even be faster than Sanji, not more agile, but faster. In his slowest form too, and
Yo, what the
speed
fuck was
probably
that
isn't even
attack,
his
bro?
fucking
I'm looking
specialty.
at it now. Sanji's
Yeah.
like, you bastard, and he kicks him. Does
It's a
nothing.
weird
He's like,
attack.
don't you dare call me by that Vince Smoke name. I'm gonna finish this right here and now. And then he just fucking does nothing.
Yeah, some weird shit. But I actually, I think Sanji's pretty strong. I don't think he's trash.
All right, let's move away from Kyoshiro. We've been on enough of a tangent. So Shiryu, I think he's definitely stronger than King, just based off the fact that I think Zoro's gonna fight and beat King, and then just by story purposes, it wouldn't really make sense if Shiryu's a weaker swordsman. It would be very underwhelming. I think he's a stronger swordsman even without the fruit. I feel like he would just be more of a physical threat for Zoro, just based on story purposes. And then he got the fruit. It's kind of weird to say what happens with the fruit. Like, does observation hockey work? Does it not? If it doesn't, that's kind of broken, but that might be why they valued the fruit so much. Dofi should have observation hockey, and when Absalom turned Moria invisible, he couldn't find him apparently, so maybe that's something to say that you can't really sense the presence, something along those lines. I feel like that's the route Oda will go, because if you can just use observation hockey, it's kind of useless, you know?
Maybe it needs to be like a level of heightened to be able to use. Not every like basic observation hockey can be able to detect him or something.
I think
I
it's
feel like there
simpler
has
than
to
that,
be
bro.
a counter. It could be like the way to fucking detect him is maybe some swordsman skill or something.
No.
It's a whole thing type shit.
There's a simpler way to like think about it, right? So this is how you think about it. So think about like it's very similar to Dragon Ball. Like the way hockey and Ki are very similar, and where in Dragon Ball you're able to hide your presence, you're able to mask your Ki. So like, remember how Vegeta couldn't find Krillin and like Gohan because they like lowered their Ki. Vegeta can find them, you know what I mean? So like similar to hockey, you know how like really can sense like there's like 500 monsters stronger than you in this island, right? Really can sense that, right? So that's why Moria probably had his thing on, right? But whatever Shiryu did, he probably masked his presence. That's what he did. You know what I mean? It's pretty simple. That's how I think about it.
And you think he can mask his presence in the fight too? Because he'd kind of have to like.
Yeah,
I think it works
he's
like
like,
Dragon Ball,
okay,
where if you're going all out, you can't mask your presence.
in Dragon Ball, I think so. I think it's like it's kind of similar. Like for
Or it's
example, like
useless, right?
You know how Rayleigh was able to like no one was able to know where Rayleigh was, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone thought he was like an old man, but what he was doing was he was out in the open and he's just hiding his presence. You know what I mean? That's all he's doing, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you don't have that. Let's say Rayleigh never had that ability. Like everyone would know. Right? They'd be like, "Oh, what the fuck is that presence?" You know what I mean? Like they'd be like, "Oh, there's something weird about that guy." They'd all say that, but
You're cutting off for me.
that shows a level of mastery. Am I
Yeah, I
cutting
get
off?
that, but you said if they're actually going all out, that they can't really mask the presence anymore, right?
Yeah, if they go full all out, yeah.
So then it's kind of useless in an actual fight, right?
Yeah, but it seems like his whole fruit is
No,
gonna
but
be like.
it just yeah, it's you could say it's useless, but it's not useless as like you could basically be invisible. You know what I mean?
I guess, but the way the Blackbeard pirates talked about it, they're like, we got a really useful ability. Like, I would think it's really useful in the combat sense too, not just like for sneaking people.
I think they were like talking about like when we said we got it. It seemed like it was like a team oriented ability. It wasn't like, oh man, because Shiri was already super strong. So like I don't think like that was what they were like pointing to. They were pointing to like how fucking
I don't even
utility
know if
wise
we is
amazing
the
ability.
exact quote.
No,
I
but
think it might have just been
that's
Shiryu
why I
saying
think
I.
the fruit comes in. I think that's why the fruit comes in because
Yeah, we gotta check that.
let's say you go all out, right? You you have the fruit there now. You know what I mean? The fruit hides you, and then you can just mask your presence. You know what I
And
mean?
you could like rest or something. Is that what you're saying?
I don't think you can rest, but I'm saying like you could like hit him out of nowhere, like with a
That's what I.
critical hit.
That's what I feel like is gonna be happening, right? If you go by the theory what Keem's trying to make is like if you go all out, you're not focusing on concealing your presence, so you're gonna like they can see you even if they know you where you're coming from, even though you're invisible. The way you could do is like fucking launch an all-out attack, see back into fucking darkness, come back again, launch all-out attack, and see back into darkness. That's why. That's the whole like. You
I
can only
mean,
be
maybe,
seen if you
but
go.
I don't really see Oda making the battle like hit and run tactics. I feel like instead the battle will be where Zoro can't really sense him at all, and observation Haki is kind of useless, so he has to rely on pure skill in predicting his attacks. That's how I see
Oh,
it.
that's cool too. But the way that he killed more like or stabbed Mori or whatever made it seem like that's what his whole tactic is. Just like
Yeah, I feel the same.
Well,
talking to me.
to
I
him,
feel like what he
Moria's
does
probably a
at
bug, so he probably didn't care about like honor with
no
Moria.
Moria is
He's
pretty
like,
fucking
fuck
strong,
off.
bro. Moria's like pretty fucking strong.
Moria's
Yo,
trash, dude. He lost to the
No,
pre-time
Moria,
you
Straw
see
bro.
that?
Hats.
Bro.
Yo, Dawkins, you see that fucking shit that was going on? Average 24-year-old BDA.
Oh yeah, that
Average.
meme.
Moria is
Yeah.
fucking strong, bro.
It said fucking Moria is fucking strong, and I was dead. Every time
Those exact
Moria's
words.
fucking yeah, exactly.
Oh my
Moria's OP,
god.
Listen,
dude.
listen.
Moria's a P,
The
dude, I
current Moria is
swear.
current Moria isn't as strong as he was pre-time skip, but that Moria is right hand level.
Pre-time skip Moria?
Yeah, that Moria is right hand
Nah,
level.
that's cap.
So
With
how
all
the
the
fuck was
shadows and
Luffy able
shit.
to injure him with attacks?
What? Why was Luffy? Luffy wasn't doing shit. Luffy got what? Luffy got no dip the first time they fought. Then this
Bro,
guy
I'm
took
not
his
saying
shadow.
Luffy was close to him
This guy's
overall, but
fucking
there was
around.
panels of him injuring him, and Moria was like noticeably very hurt by them.
Bro, he got hit by monster, whatever that fucking form was of Luffy. That shit broken, bro. That shit is like post time skip level Luffy attacks, bro.
I'm pretty
Like,
sure it
it's
was
crazy.
gear third too, like a regular ass gear third attack. Fucked them up.
Bro, do you remember Monster Point? Not Monster Point. But do you remember like the Monster Form Luffy, whatever the fuck they call
Yeah,
it?
I remember that.
The-
I don't really think
yeah,
it's post time skip level.
that shit was getting hit. That shit was hitting Moria right in the face, and this guy was still fighting. This guy's a monster, bro. So, yo, you don't know how strong this guy is, bro. Like this guy would fuck most right hands up, straight up, bro. This guy's
Maybe
a
in his
beast.
prime, but I
Yeah,
just can't
that's what I'm
respect
saying. Like
anyone
this
who
guy's
gets
a
hurt
beast.
by pre-time skip Luffy.
No, but bro, do you know he was beating them and he let them win. It was the weirdest shit ever.
I mean,
Um,
yeah, but still, like, if you get hit by a Luffy that can't one-shot a pacifista, then you're kind of pathetic.
Bro, listen, right? Listen. This
You're
guy,
getting two sidetracks on Moria.
I'm
Moria's
saying this guy
garbage.
at his peak, is a monster. Like with his shadows, all that shit. Like if he came to the war with all those shadows and shit, like all that shit, bro, he's bodying people. But he came to the war with no shadows. Like he had no shadows left. You know what I mean? All this shit's gone. All he has is that weird ass invisible reporter dude and like the doctor. You know what I mean? That's all he has.
The only
Right? But
argument
prior
I
to
would
that,
accept is that that's the way Oda intends to portray him, but he just fucked up with the scaling, and he kind of like made the gap between pre-time skip and post-time skip too big by accident. And pre-time skip
no,
villains aren't
but
necessarily.
I'm
For
saying
sure,
that's
he
what
for sure
Oda.
did.
I'm saying that's what Oda intended him. How that's how Oda intended him to be. Like that's how strong he wants him to be. That's what you gotta
Okay, yeah,
understand.
you can make an argument for that. I just think his feats are kind of pathetic because of the whole
Yeah,
pacifista scaling.
No, his feats are crazy, bro. He took
Bro,
those
shut the
hits and then
fuck
he made like
up.
a hole in an island level.
Can't even come to an agreement on this.
his item level stuff is kind of like his abilities on the fucking fruits is terrifying. It's just that like the way he fucked up after his crew got killed made him look like in a bad light. I feel like in his prime he was actually kind of menacing himself. Like he's like that fruit is kind of
Bro.
nasty.
I can agree with you guys, right? That Kaido fucked him up and his crew, right? Kaido and his crew fucked up
Yeah,
Moria
kind of
and his
promoted
crew,
too.
right?
Yeah.
I agree with that, right? But I'm just saying that the Moria with all those shadows and all that shit, he's right hand level. This guy's a beast. Like you guys, come on.
I don't agree at all.
That same
Maybe
the
maybe
Kuma
that's
guy
how
is
Oda
super
Back to his
too.
intends to
prime. He
portray
goes
him.
back to his prime where it's not like a fat ass that's fucking just crying all the time like a emo bitch. Then maybe, but like now currently no.
Bro, yo,
Hopefully
he
he
was
does.
sitting, yo, Draco. He was laying down on his like bed, or no, not on his bed, just laying down, right? And he beat Luffy without moving.
Yeah, that's
And
Well, he
this
was
is
a
the
fly
Luffy's
at
not
that
very
point,
strong
this
dude.
is
back
the
then.
Luffy that beat Lucci, and Lucci apparently has
Luffy's
hockey.
trash as well. Luffy Pitanska was garbage.
Lucci Pitaska have hockey.
He didn't
We're
have
all going
hockey.
off the pacifista scaling.
Bro, Koshiki shit, bro. That might be hockey. You never know.
Nah,
Shit.
Moria would have slapped him because Luffy
No.
didn't have hockey back then.
Oda talked about the
He
Rokushiki
one-shots
techniques,
him.
and he said they might allude to hockey. So,
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
not
don't know
like
about that. I just feel like that
the
makes
fact that
Lucci really pathetic. So I'm kind of confused on that, but
I
whatever.
think what was overblown was the pacifist shit. I think pacifists have always been trash.
Moria was definitely like a stronger guy. Like he
And
would
and
have
I also
been.
think Luffy was garbage. You know what I mean? Luffy himself was trash. Like Zoro was injured and he was doing as much damage to the pacifist as like peak Luffy. You know what I mean?
Bro,
Still
do you
took
know
the whole
how?
crew to like really struggling though. Like maybe Luffy could extreme diff it, maybe, but the whole crew struggled.
Everyone
For
struggled.
sure.
Moria
Yeah.
was fucking like crazy. If he didn't mismanage his shadows and who he put them in, he would have fucking destroyed them. And
Bro, he
before,
did. He
before
just
that, like,
retarded.
yeah, he
All
fucked
right,
up by
enough
his
about
own
Moria. I'm
player.
sick of talking about this fat fuck. Siva, what do you think about Shiryu?
Oh
You
damn,
bought-
I've been unmuted this whole time.
Yeah, you've been
Yeah.
muted. You've been talking?
No, I haven't been talking. I've been farting though. Y'all ain't heard that?
No.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
He said
Good
I've
shit.
been unmuted this entire time. The opposite of me.
Yeah. Well, wait, we talking about Shiryu?
We were.
Damn,
It
that's
went to
crazy. How you was
Moria,
talking about
but
Shiryu, then you
yeah.
get to Moria. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Talk
it's
about Moria for
wild,
like
bro. That's what I'm
15
saying.
minutes.
That's why we'll never
Um,
get through this. Like the second guy on his list, like an hour almost. I
For
don't know,
real, dude.
40 minutes.
Let's speed things up a
Shiryu,
bit.
Shiryu
gotta go
is weird
faster.
to me. Shiryu is weird to me because he's the equal of Magellan, and I
Yeah,
have
you
rated
think Magellan's a
Magellan
monster, don't you?
very highly. I mean, he is. I don't even see why that's up for debate, but
I mean, like,
I rate, I
first
rate
commander level
Magellan very
monster.
highly.
Obviously, he's strong.
No. Magellan beats all for right hands, bro. That guy's a monster.
For same, I agree. I agree to
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Where do you even have him on this? I don't even see him.
All right. So
I have him with
Shiryu's equal.
Dofi, right?
Okay. All right.
What the
Wait.
fuck?
Do
Yeah,
I?
that's so low.
No, I have him one tier above Dofi.
Okay.
He shits on Cap, bro.
Bro, you
Wild.
have Shiryu 3 tiers above Magellan?
First of all, I think he got stronger over the time skip, and then he got the
So does
invisible fruit
Magellan.
on top of that.
No,
We don't
I
really
think
know
I
if
think
Magellan got
Shiryu
stronger.
did get stronger, but I don't think they're so far apart. I think Magellan should be higher.
Well,
Magellan
let's
still
say-
got stronger. He fucking demoted
Let's say
himself.
pre-time
and he
skip,
said,
Shiryu was
"No."
A minus, and then post time skip, he either got to A or A plus, and then with the envious fruit, he's S minus now.
Wait. So you think the wardens of Impel Down, but like they were A minus, so they were a tier below Jozu and Vista.
No
I mean,
way.
yeah, but look who I have A minus. That's Cat's there, so that's first commander level pretty much.
Okay, I can just like argue against that because the way you have your shit set up, you have Darkness Fruit Blackbeard who got one shot by Magellan A plus. You also have these guys. They're like I don't know what that guy's name, but he has that top hat. Like he's like supposedly
See?
admiral level person, but not an admiral level. He didn't make it. I don't know his name.
Chat Tom.
That guy.
Tom?
Yeah, and then Magellan was said to be like the strongest non-admiral or whatever at the time, so he could be
Was he?
around that level. That's what I remember them
I don't
saying.
remember that.
Shit.
No one's called him that. No one's called him that.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know
just
about
a
that.
community-
That
it's a
would be cap,
community
but like in terms of his feats, I don't see
I mean, it
that
might as
guy
well
being
be
stronger
true.
than him.
Okay,
it's
so
like
for your
fucking-
Blackbeard point, I think that's fair to an extent, but I take that moment as just Blackbeard being overconfident, and I think it's similar to him versus old Whitebeard. Like, I don't really think you could say old sick dying Whitebeard that's like seconds away from death, he's strong enough to low diff that Blackbeard. I don't think Blackbeard's that weak because of how much Shanks hyped him up. So it's kind of weird with Blackbeard where he got hyped up a lot from Shanks. It kind of seemed like he was Shanks' rival in a sense, or like comparable to him, even before he got the Darkness Fruit. Then he has kind of pathetic performances against Magellan and against Whitebeard. So I think you can just argue he was being overconfident. Whitebeard even acknowledged that. It's kind of weird how he has the fucking counter to Magellan's Fruit, but he doesn't use it. You know?
Yeah.
Well,
I just think it was
well,
a
to-
really bad jobbing moment for Blackbeard.
No, he did. Wait. I disagree with that completely.
Go
to
ahead.
that,
Go
I,
ahead,
I
go
think
ahead,
I think
Steve.
with Blackbeard being equal to Shanks, I think he had to work his way up to that because he had to wait until he got the darkness, and
Yeah.
Shanks is already out there building himself up, getting stronger, and becoming a Yonko and everything. So, I mean, I don't think Blackbeard is supposed to be equal to Shanks at that point.
Well, it depends on how much stronger you think Shanks got since that confrontation. I don't think he got that much stronger. And I also think the point of Shanks hyping Blackbeard up to Whitebeard was to say, all right, he was a problem even back then. Like, he was so much of a problem back then that I just knew he was going to be like a fucking monster in the future and someone to look out for. That's the way I see it.
All right,
But
I
mean,
want to say that Blackbeard, he went up to Magellan with his crew, and we all know Blackbeard knows what's up. Like he knows like people's abilities and shit. But he went up, and Magellan just fucked his shit up. Like he killed his entire crew with him, and the
Yeah,
only reason he was alive was because of Shiryu.
because right, I never understood
Yeah.
people saying he got caught off guard there because it's like a football field between them. Like I don't understand how.
Yeah.
if
Yeah, it
it's
is a
that
weird
much
moment.
distance between you.
You can definitely
Like,
argue
how-
it
how do you
shows
guys know?
Magellan is stronger than Blackbeard. I just feel like Blackbeard job right there.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
but-
that's where I completely disagree because like he's 2 levels above that guy, right? Like wild. And Shiryu
Yeah.
himself. This was a devil fruit. They
Magellan
had
fucked him up.
matches, yeah.
And the only way they beat Magellan too, right, Draco, was with everyone from level 6 coming in with Shiryu.
For sure. Like he fucking took a beastly L. It wasn't just like
What
one guy beat him.
about Blackbeard against old
Beastly
Whitebeard that's
L.
like seconds away from dying? You think he's only strong enough to get low diff by him?
That's Blackbeard, fucking weight, bro. Near death weight, dog. Fucked him up. Blackbeard's
Still,
insane.
like,
was
he
not
could
holding
barely
anything.
fucking move at that point.
I think what would have happened was Whitebeard would have obviously died, but Blackbeard would have taken a pretty hard hit. You know what I mean? He would have got a mortal hit in the process for being retarded. You know what I mean? That's how I see it.
I mean, I see it the same way. Just him being retarded in that mortal hit was getting fucking poisoned by Magellan.
Magellan's shit is fucking ridiculously deadly. Like
Bro, that guy's
probably one of the
broken as
deadliest
fuck.
fruits up there with Akainu.
All right, so
Insane.
Draco and Rackham, both of you give me your interpretations of Shanks hyping up Blackbeard then. How strong do you think Blackbeard was when he scarred Shanks, and then how strong do you think Shanks was?
That's a
Yeah,
good point.
I think they're personally. I think the Blackbeard with the claw and shit. I think he's fucking commander level at that point. You know what I mean? Him and Shanks at that
I
point.
don't have any problem with you having Blackbeard there. Darkness, I agree. He's A plus shit. He's very strong. It's just Magellan should be moved up with him. Is my point. Like the way you have Blackbeard is fine to me.
Didn't you say you disagreed with Blackbeard just jobbing though?
I said I fucking.
I'd have that Blackbeard.
I don't remember
I'd
saying
have
that.
that Blackbeard. I'd have that Blackbeard above right hands, like normal right hands, like king or whatever. You know what I mean?
What?
I'd have that Blackbeard above them.
That's crazy.
So then where the fuck do you have Magellan?
Like the darkness guy.
I'm talking
The
about when
darkness
he
black.
fought Shanks.
Before fruit too, pre-fruit.
Oh, the
Wild.
one that fought Shanks without his fruit.
Yeah.
I don't know how to
But
scale that. 'Cause I feel like
I probably have him. Yeah, that's hard to scale, bro.
Because the way Shanks said it, it was like Blackbeard at that point already proved he was so much of a monster that he's like, all right, he's gonna be a fucking problem later on, like someone that even Whitebeard has to look out for because he might take his spot. And then from what we know right now, it's very possible that Shanks, he knows that Blackbeard has the potential to become Pirate King. So you could argue that just from that one encounter, Shanks already got the impression that this is a Pirate King level candidate.
I think he's commander level.
Even though he was talking about how he scarred him, like the vibe I got from that was he was more referring to his cunning and shit. Like he can navigate the seas to be a problem later on.
No, I disagree with that.
Well, he also said that he wasn't caught off guard, so Blackbeard at that point can only really demonstrate to him his combat abilities, right?
Yeah, but like to get that close to him and shit could have been like cunning that also scared Shanks.
Bro,
And that
I don't think he's that at all, bro.
What do you mean that close?
I think what happened was Shanks
I
was
don't
just.
give a fuck. I don't know how to scale.
It was just unexpected. It was just unexpected coming from Blackbeard. That's what I think Shanks thought. He's like, "What the fuck? This guy had that power." Like that's the kind of vibe I got from it.
I mean, you can be unexpectedly strong, but I don't think that's enough to like warn Whitebeard and be like, "This guy might be a problem." And like I argued, him being a Pirate King level candidate potentially.
Yeah.
And he said like that scar, like it still aches. Like he thinks about it a lot. Like it actually like mentally scarred him on top of physically scarring him.
Yeah, he fucked him up with that scar.
But yeah, that's like one of the main reasons why I rate Blackbeard so highly. I feel like he's had trash moments, but he's intended to be strong. That's how I see it.
I don't even know how he would fight without the darkest. I haven't really seen him use like martial arts or anything.
Yeah, like me and Trippy said, he just seems like a fat piece of shit that just fights like a scumbag. Doesn't really have like good martial art knowledge, all that type of shit. It's kind of hard to imagine him fighting. But yeah, we can move on. Bullet. This is like a throwaway one. I don't even have much to say about him because I skimmed through the movie. So do you guys want to talk about him?
Well, no, that guy's trash.
Not really. But the thing I was trying to make a comment on your Shiryu thing. I can like right now I don't have him stronger than King. I think King is on his level, maybe a bit stronger. But if he like works on this fruit, and you agree that it's going to be a fruit that'll be beneficial to him, it's a very strong fruit in its own way, then he gets stronger as he gets more comfortable with it. And then what's his name? Once Zora beats King, what's his name? Shiryu can be on his level, but it could be a stronger fight. So narratively makes sense because he has to combat this whole "I can't see you" ability.
Well, even on top of that ability, Zoro's probably gonna have like a big boost between now and Raftel, and then I don't even think it's just gonna be the ability. I feel like just because it's Oda, he's gonna have them clash equally because that's what he always does. So physically, Shiryu by default, by being inserted later into the story, he's gonna have more impressive physical feats. So I feel like Shiryu is more of a physical monster than King, and then on top of that, he has the fruit.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to say anything about Bullet? What I'll say is he was compared to Rayleigh, and I already made my arguments for why I think Rayleigh's Yonko level, and then Kaido, he was able to one-shot Luffy, and then Bullet, he like hit Luffy in the face like 50 times or some shit, and Luffy didn't get knocked out, so I definitely don't think he's Yonko level.
Nah.
Where do you have Crocodile?
Really would
Bullet is a beast.
C+ for a guy that was a rival of Bullet? Was a rival of Rayleigh? If you take all that into account, you better have Crocodile up in fucking A+ ready to go.
That's some cap, dude. That's some big cap. That's like Moria being around with the Kaido, you know what I'm saying?
Crocodile should be with Dofi. Crocodile should be with Dofi. He should be with Dofi, bro. Come on.
I don't think he's that trash. Just based off his feats on the movie, the way he was able to punk the supernova, I feel like you got to give him a lot of respect.
Maybe what's his name? Otis doing something with Crocodile, where he's actually showing his true potential.
Crocodile's a beast.
Yeah. He's another victim of pre-time skip.
I don't even want to get into this right
now. That's what I'm saying. Moria is a victim of that.
No way.
So Crocodile.
Yeah, the Crocodile more so, but yeah.
No, bro.
Let's skip
You're picking and choosing,
young
bro. You
Whitebeard.
gotta be consistent.
We'll just talk about him because we're going to talk about Weevil, and they had that comparison. So I had them in the same tier, just to add some validation to Kizaru's statement about him having the same physical strength. So you could argue young Whitebeard, he's probably more skilled, so maybe he's still a level above Weevil at that point. But
Yeah.
when it comes to
Is this
Weevil,
while
I'm not
he's
really
on
sure where to
Zebex?
rank him. He seems like a physical beast. I feel like he might have a fruit on top of that, but I don't really think he's that skilled. He might not be that fast either. So he might just be like a better Jack in a way. That's kind of how I see him.
Is at that point was he on Zebex?
He's very comparable to Jack. That's true. But his strength is
Whitebeard?
probably a lot.
Yeah, was Whitebeard on Zebex crew at that point?
I
It
don't
didn't really
know. I
specify.
don't really have an exact age for Whitebeard at this point. I'm just saying this is the Whitebeard that Kizaru compared Weevil
If
to.
it's after he was on the Zebex crew, then I'd have him higher than that. But if it's before, if it's while he's on the crew, then maybe.
He could be
Whatever
before.
age Kizaru was talking about when he compared Weevil to him.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he was just comparing it like his physical strength.
Who
right?
did you say young Whitebeard?
Yeah. So if I were to like compare them further, I would say Whitebeard is definitely more skilled. I don't know if he has the fruit at this point, but Weevil, he has equal physical strength to him, and then I think he has the fruit as well. I'm kind of a believer of the armadillo fruit theory. I don't know why, I just kind of believe it. So he has like some ups and downs. Like he's probably more durable and has more endurance than Whitebeard at that point because of his own
Fucking
fruit.
shell.
Yeah.
Wait, guys, did we talk about Zoro yet?
We're about
No.
to. We just
Alright, bro,
gotta get past this.
We gotta get past those guys. Let's
Yeah,
hurry up,
Whitebeard.
guys.
I'm
Yeah.
fine with him being there.
One
He
more
could
thing
agree with
is,
you.
stronger, but
where do you
but
guys? I mean, who do you guys think Weevil's gonna fight?
Marco and lose?
Marco and lose. Rackham
Yeah,
I think he's gonna fight Marco as well,
and
But
win or lose.
or he's gonna lose in the Marines. So
Fights Kizaru and Kizaru teaches him a lesson. You're
because they're
too early
fucking
to be
one-shots.
fighting this. No.
Wait, do you think he's gonna win or lose if he fights Marco?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I think he's gonna beat Marco personally.
Okay. Steve-O?
We're talking about Weevil, huh?
Yeah. Who do you think he's gonna fight?
I think Weevil has to fight Marco.
And do you think he's gonna win or lose?
I'm actually not sure.
Okay.
The reason I think that Marco is not gonna lose is because he's been taking too many L's, and the way that this whole freaking voyage of Weevil is being written down is like it makes us think he's gonna beat Marco. I feel like Marco is gonna surprise people and show that hey.
If anything,
I
I
was
think
the
it's
right
the
hand.
opposite because I feel like with Marco's role in the story, it's obvious that Oda wants to give him one W after all the L's he's taken, like kind of redeem him. So Marco winning would be the obvious choice.
Yeah, I think you can argue either way, because like
I
the
guess.
way that but Marco needs that though, bro. And Marco fucking avenging all his
Facts.
all his people that this guy just killed, and then using it fucking under Whitebeard's flag, like saying he's Whitebeard's son and shit, like everything that Whitebeard probably stood against type shit. Marco beating him would be sweet.
It would be a good moment. Plus, look at Weevil. How can Marco lose to this retard?
Fucking hate, yeah, no way, dude.
I think Marco is one of the strongest right hands too.
I think he's like him and Ben
I
Beckman
agree.
are top two.
Let's move on to Prime Suru. I don't really have much of opinion on her.
Me neither.
I don't think she's as strong as Garp or any of the other like top tier Marines, but I feel like since Dolphy was scared of her and since she was still considered a legend, she should be respected. Though to what extent I don't know. I would say she was at least commander level at that point, and I would put her S- at the very most. I was just giving her respect because I felt like I don't know, just because of her standing.
Yeah, I
status.
felt like she was like a she rode through her ranks not only because of her fucking strength, but also her like I feel like she's pretty smart as well. And didn't they say that she was chasing Dofi for like ever? She's relentless in her chase and shit. Also, maybe Dofi was also scared of her. Alongside
Yeah,
her
well,
fucking
it said like
Washes
Dolphy ran
your
away or
sins,
something.
bro. Come on.
But he knew better.
yeah.
He didn't want to
I
test
want
her.
to see her fight, bro. Like stuff like that is wild. Like I can't see her being a beast. You know, that's how he's fucking drawn. Like I don't.
Like her character design and her fucking power, like it's either broken or useless. So it's like, how's that gonna work out?
Fucking like has the amazing ass ability where she awakens and like makes everyone immobile or something. I don't know, and hangs them up.
Since this
Broken
is a
shit.
character that no one cares about, I'm sure Steve has a plethora of opinions on her. So where do you rate Prime Suru?
It's actually not much. I mean, y'all said most things, but only thing I got to say is that you have to keep in mind that she was assigned to go take on Roger.
She
True.
was. I don't really remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in chapter
yeah.
0,
Oh,
She
was
was a
is
science.
that the
like
one where
Garp,
Science.
Garp
Garp,
like he just felt like coming along?
yeah,
Yeah,
Garp just hopped on the ship.
let me hitch a ride with you because like he wasn't supposed to go. He had a meeting, and then he hitched a ride with her.
Hmm.
I like that
Alright,
relationship
something to
between
think
the two.
about.
So she's a beast, eh?
She also makes me think that she's
Apparently.
like has a background like Garp, where she wasn't like a not like a background like Garp, but like she's also like a deviant in a sense like Garp. She's not
I
like
don't
a
agree at all.
follow
I think she's
rule
like the by the
follower.
books person, and she's like really strict and annoying.
Yeah. She's like a Sengoku,
Maybe
but
because
for women.
opposite track type shit. That's why Garp fucks with her that much because she's like that.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
that
I
might
feel
be
like every scene
that might
she's
be
ever been
Luffy's
in, she's
grandma.
been an annoying bitch.
That like she did something like when she was talking to Dofi, did she like tell the guards to go away and shit like that? That's like kind of like I guess I mean the guards are supposed to be there, to help her out, but she was like, no, you
Yeah,
guys
she
can
didn't
go
care.
away.
But I mean, Dofi was caught in chains at that
Yeah.
point. So who knows?
It made it seem like she didn't want them to hear their conversation.
Hmm, I guess. I think she was just giving him like the proper respect. Like, not really that she didn't necessarily want them to hear it, but she's like, all right, piss off. Like, this is between me and him. Like, not
Yeah,
that
she's
she
a
cares if they
fucking
hear it or not,
Moby
but she's
Dick.
just giving Dofi the proper respect.
She was chasing this guy all her life, like not all her life, but for a long time.
Hmm.
But yeah, I agree with her being there, and I think everyone else does. She's
All right,
strong.
so Luffy. I think the best way to approach this is to compare him to Cat, because a lot of people are gonna be like, "Why is he so ahead of Cat?" I feel like that's gonna be the first question everyone asks.
Cat's ass. That's
So,
why.
Cat, he's so weird because his abilities are really strong on paper, but he failed to put down a base in Gear 2 Luffy after like 10 hours. And then Luffy, while he was already super injured, he got the stab wound. Yeah, Cat stabbed himself also, but then when Luffy got stabbed, he also gave him like a barrage of the Mochi Fists on top of that. And I didn't see Cat letting Luffy get a barrage on him to equal it out, you know? Fucking fraud. But
Yeah.
if Luffy, after 10 hours, he needs like 10 hours to get better. He's like super injured and shit, and he's in really bad shape. And then with Snake Man, he's able to finish Cat. It was like in like 9 hits or some shit, 14 hits, whatever it was. He beat him while in a really fucked up condition. Like if he was to fight him again, just after Whole Cake, fuck all the Ryu power ups, fuck all the Sea Stone training. I think he would like considerably beat him. Like it would be a lot easier. Like I don't even think he would need the 10 hours, but he has the 10 hours as an option in case it's not good enough to just get stronger, and then he'll definitely beat him by that point. So I feel like there's already a gap after their fight because Luffy improved so much. And then after the fight, I would say he just had like hockey blooming in general. Like his observation got better, though maybe not a lot better. And then he learned Ryu, of course. His physical stats probably also bloomed when he got fucked up by Kaido. So he's had a lot of improvements at this point. I feel like after the cat fight, he was at A, and then after the Ryu training, he's at A plus now.
So to clear up that whole hockey blooming, is it if you overcome them or even if you take a L, like you get one shot by Yonko, you get stronger? Like I don't understand that.
It's vague because
Yeah.
you don't even need to like really overcome anything, because I feel like you can argue Kobe had a hockey bloom when Akainu was gonna fuck him up, because apparently he like unlocked some observation skill, like he was able to like hear people's thoughts or something.
Yeah.
And he didn't even really do anything. He just like manned up mentally, but you know, he didn't face any physical damage or like have to overcome any physical tasks. And that's enough for a hockey bloom apparently. So it's really weird and inconsistent. So I would say
Yeah.
him getting fucked
Sure.
up by Kaido is enough to justify a hockey blooming.
Yeah, I guess. Plus all his fucking frustration of being weak. I don't know. That can inhibit some growth.
Meh.
But for Katakuri, I agree with you in the sense that he's fucking garbage. Like I don't know why how not when I say that I'm trolling, but like he's garbage in the sense that he was punishing Luffy the entire time, and the one time that Luffy had a clean exchange with him, he lost. So it just shows his fucking durability isn't up to snuff with like Black and
Yeah,
Jack,
his durability and
like
endurance for
Zoro,
sure were
and
like far
or
below Luffy's to
Dofi.
begin with.
Yeah, all those
For
guys,
sure.
right? But then the thing about him that I disagree on you with is that you always argue. You mentioned this multiple times. Is that like what's his name? Oda wrote it in a way that in those 10 hours Luffy couldn't lose, even in regard of fucking Katakuri's abilities, because he showed cases Katakuri's abilities are deadly. Like he fucking could have suffocated him. use his fucking stickiness again. Like even use that little grilled mochi that he was using at the end. He could have used that at the beginning to destroy Luffy, but he didn't. Like there's plot conveniences along the way caused him, along with Katakuri's incompetence, I guess, but like not a lack of skill, caused him to survive the 10 hours.
I mean, technically, you can argue that Cat not using those abilities just makes him a retard, and then him being
Yeah,
retarded is a
for
lack of
sure.
skill. Well, then that just be me taking advantage of the plot. But
Yeah, exactly.
one thing I will
Like,
say is
he
I
was,
don't
like,
think
evil there, you know?
I don't think saying because Cat trapped Luffy and Mochi that one time and then didn't finish him off that he could have done it later. Because I feel like he should have been like, okay, that worked. Let me try it again, and then it didn't work because Luffy he adapted to that technique. So I don't think you can say.
But he didn't even do that. That's the thing that makes us able
Well, I mean,
to.
we don't really know because
have
it was
that
off
count.
screen.
Yeah.
But how do you adapt to being buried in mochi?
And how do you
By
adapt to being
being
sticky?
better at
Like,
dodging.
how do you not be sticky anymore? You know, he doesn't have Rio or anything. All you have
Yeah,
to do is make him
that's
sticky.
one really weird aspect of the fight. Cat's Mochi just wasn't sticky for like 99% of the fight.
That part of it is huge because that stickiness is fucking impossible to deal with. Like, almost,
Because I
unless, like,
remember when
don't
we
get hit.
first learned about Cat, like even during the wedding, people would already rate him above Marco because they're like, all right, Cat and Marco are gonna clash, and then when they clash, Marco's already sticky, and then Cat's just gonna surround him in more Mochi now that Marco's already sticky, and then Marco he's either can't get out or he's gonna struggle to get out, and Cat has a huge advantage, so he beats Marco. And then when we actually saw him fight, the stickiness was barely utilized at all. I think like the stickiness is like, if anything, the most broken part of his fruit. And maybe even the most broken part of his abilities, maybe even better than the future sight, but he never used it like ever.
I feel like that's the thing that I mean if he did he bring him back towards the end of the fight? I feel like he used stickiness again towards the end of the fight. I feel like if he didn't do
I
that,
think like
yeah,
literally once
He
when he
did
like
for the buzz cut mochi.
bus cut
for
mochi.
that.
Like if he didn't do that, I would have said, "Oh, the retcon there, like that's just broken. Like nah, it don't work anymore." I would have said that, but the fact that he used it again makes me just fucking question the entire fight. Why the fuck did you not use it? I feel like
I don't know.
and like if they fight again with Rio, like they can like negate the stickiness because you know it gives you a border, plus his future sight, plus its enhanced like fucking feats, enhanced physical attributes. He beats him, but like not like right after Whole Cake Island. I feel like if Katakuri does not underestimate Luffy right after Whole Cake Island, both have future sight. It's a high diff to Luffy or a high excuse me to Luffy, but it won't be like a. It will still be as difficult, but like not more like one sided will be like both of them will be getting hits in. Does that make sense?
Because I don't know. I can't really say that because, yeah, Cat not underestimating him, quote unquote, gives Cat a sizable boost, but Luffy starting off the fight not needing to fucking just get pummeled for 10 hours is just, I think that's an even bigger boost. Like, it's so massive.
Because like I said earlier, like if Katakuri was getting hit from the beginning, he's already out. So like if Luffy can land hits since the beginning, that fight would be short as hell, and he like wins off like them going.
Luffy right now would be doing without Gear 4.
Ooh, that depends on Ryu. I know me and Draco disagree on how effective Ryu is.
Ryu's insane, bro. Come on.
I know, but
that guy.
Okay,
that
one
guy
thing I'll
doesn't
give you
have.
is that
That guy
Cat
doesn't have.
Let me say this: Cat is so trash that apparently Gear Second Luffy was the fastest opponent he's ever fought. He's like, I've never struggled this much to hit someone before. So
yeah, and he had future sight. Fucking.
So maybe Luffy with future sight and Ryu and better physical attributes, maybe he can dodge enough and counter enough with the Ryu to beat him. I feel like maybe you have an argument there.
The way you laid it out there, like him having like the ability to hit him from jump, plus that like insurmountable gap in durability between the two, that just that makes me like the only way Katakuri somehow wins is being able to like land that one stick and like fucking
if his stickiness actually works.
Yeah, that's the thing, which we have no reason for it not to work. I just don't think that like I feel like Luffy would just find a counter to it. I wish Oda wrote it down to find a counter to it, but he didn't. So I guess he can like eat the place that it's fucking stuck on him, eat that mochi, and be gone with it. You know?
I don't know, because I don't really think you can eat in the middle of a battle like that.
True.
But Rackham, do you think Luffy being 2 tiers above Cat now is fair?
Who?
Luffy, do you think him being 2 tiers above Cat, is fair?
So you're saying he would mid diff him if he went all
out? Maybe upper mid.
Current Luffy,
yeah, I agree. That's fair as fuck.
I would like be conservative and have him let's say 1 tier above, but having him 2 tier above the way we arguing it now. It's not crazy, in my opinion.
But you got to understand, right, that Luffy can now hit him at the start of the fight. It's over.
Exactly, that's what
Like,
you're saying.
Yeah,
Like,
I already said that.
that's
like,
what I'm
it's
saying. Like,
over.
the more we see
It'll take
shit
an hour.
happen, the less impressive category looks. That makes sense. Like, he should not have been fucking defeated in like 12 hits, bro. That's
Bro,
unacceptable.
that's what I'm telling you. Base Luffy with Rio. Imagine he sends that into him. The guy's
Exactly,
dead.
like stronger abilities. Like his gear third is not gear third anymore. The gear third with Rio. You know,
Bro, with Gear
Hey, I
Third,
mean, he
wild.
Rio
used
was
King
killing.
Kongan with Ryu, and it was only strong enough to break stone. You know, Ryu kind of trash.
Can it even break
I thought-
Crackers biscuits with one
We'll
hand now?
see, we'll see how it is. But like we know who's the best at Rio. Like Luffy's just catching
Zoro.
up. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Exactly.
Hey, Steve-O, what do you think about Luffy's placement?
Where you at?
He's 2 tiers above Cap.
I disagree, and the reasons I disagree is basically because I don't think like I feel like the fandom kind of jumped the gun with that fight just a little bit. Because
Wait, you're one of those people that think Cat he willingly got defeated, right?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
and not only that, but a lot of people just like Luffy got to be stronger just because the plot got to move forward. But I mean, it's not like the people that Luffy's about to fight is even in the same ballpark as Cat anyway. Like they absolutely shitting on him. So saying that Luffy has to get stronger for those people based off of his fight with Cat is kind of asinine to begin with. Honestly, I mean, of course he got to get stronger, but whatever boost he would have gotten from that fight is insignificant when comparing to the people that he's up against at this point.
Yeah, but then
Being the Yonko.
you can argue that just means that even if for some reason he couldn't beat Luffy without even needing to hockey boost, him hockey boosting, it would be over for Cat. Did I say beat Luffy? I meant beat Cat. It'd be over for Cat if he hockey boosted, because we already know he's gonna have like some insane hockey boosts right now.
That's just crazy to just imagine how like this was like a fucking week ago in One Piece time type shit.
Right?
And he was struggling with Luffy. Now Luffy watches him type, not watches him like mid-season. I don't understand how people. The only thing he can cling on is his stickiness. Other than that, Luffy literally outclasses him or equal to him. Even if Future Sight is better for category, he can still compete with it. You know, like,
Yeah.
like it's not like it's so big that you can't touch him anymore.
No, he also doesn't have the fruit. He doesn't have Awakening as well. He doesn't have Awakening 1, and number 2, he doesn't have better hardening.
You think category has better hardening?
Yeah, Katakuri has a higher level of hardening, but Luffy
See?
has Rio. So Luffy
He has
Rio makes
advanced.
up
Like,
for it, basically. But
Are
I'm
you one
just
of those
saying,
people
in
that
terms of
think Cat
hardening.
has Rio as well?
no, he's
No,
saying
Rio
that
doesn't-
like his
Cat doesn't
base
have
level
Rio.
hardening is
Yeah, I know
stronger
he
than-
wasn't saying that.
So for example, right, how hockey works is there's for
That's nice if you
ornaments.
think that because
There's hardening and there's Rio. There's inside hockey and outside hockey. The inside hockey is the hardening. All right, Katakuri says his hardening is on another level. Right now in this arc we're learning about Rio, the outside hockey, right? And Luffy's just learning that shit. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah.
So he has another level of hardening. He doesn't have he doesn't have Rio. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, so you're saying that like if someone has like a Rio, but the other person has stronger hardening, that he can compete with that in a sense.
I feel like generally, if someone
So
has
if we
a,
compare,
like a
if we're
different
comparing them,
ability,
is what you're
then he
saying.
most likely is like better in all facets of
That's
that
what I'm
ability.
assuming. Yeah, but I don't want to think that way because I feel like I want people that like have like don't have the advanced, but like have like
I
a
personally think.
more focused ability of like his hardening is OP, but his
Mhm.
like range of like armament isn't as great as Luffy's. He can still compete with him. But I don't know how
Okay,
he's gonna
but,
do when fucking Rio blasts to the stomach. I don't know what he's gonna do about that.
But Draco, I'm not saying that they're the same level, right? I'm saying they're two different things. So what I'm saying is that Rio is obviously better than hardening, right? Because we see Prime Roger and Whitebeard clash, and then they're both
Rio,
touch, right?
yeah.
So that's Rio. That's like extreme level. Like that's the highest tier or whatever. You know what I mean? That's Prime. So
Yeah.
obviously Rio shows you have a higher mastery of ornaments, right? But
Yeah.
within ornaments, you can also master up your hardening some bit a bit more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
So, but like in terms of power scaling, how do you like make that relevant? So, like, let's say someone has a better mastery overall, of hockey, but someone has a better mastery of a specific type of hockey, like how would they
Which
like
one's
be able to
better?
clash? Yeah, which one's better to you? Can they compete with each other, or just the one that has a like what Jockers is saying has like a larger
I think the
mastery?
mastery is better. I think the mastery is
Yeah,
better.
yeah, we agree on that. I don't want to agree to that, but the way it's looking like that.
One thing I'm gonna ask is, what do you guys think about that moment where they clashed hockey and then Luffy's like hand, like it was like bubbling up? Like I know you can just argue he has better armament, so Luffy's just fist started hurting, but the way it was
I think the
bubbling up, you
edges.
can like kind of argue that maybe he was damaging him from the inside out, and that was Rio. That's why I asked Rackham that.
No, I don't think he's using Rio there. I think that he's just hurting him.
Bro, people
Okay.
like fucking JVs and
Do you
shit.
think he's using Rio?
I think it's possible. I don't really agree with it for now.
No,
The
I
way he
disagree
said
because it's
there's
like
levels to hardening,
his
right?
hardening is just exactly.
The way he said
Jacob.
there's level to hardening makes me think that he has Rio, because like he's like I'm on another level, like an
Yeah, like
ultra
I said,
level.
I'm like one of those people that believe like if
Wait,
you
so
have
you
another
guys
ability, generally that
you guys
means
think
you're
Katakuri has
like
Rio?
hockey is like
I don't
on
think
that
he
level
does,
in
but it's
general.
possible. Like there's some like hopes that he does, but like I don't
Okay,
think
so
he
what
does.
do you guys think Rio is exactly?
We think Rio is the external hockey, like you said, like seeping out your hockey from your body and clouding yourself with it.
Okay, so
And then
you
you
Yeah.
think
can
that
also
too, right,
seep into other
Yonkins?
Yeah,
people
you can use it as a force field, or you can use it like offensively
Mm-hmm.
with the
as
shit
like a
Rayleigh was
fucking
doing.
So you agree that Zoro's used it
Yeah,
against
because
Mr. One pre-time
Hyo's
skip?
explanation was like those that use Rio, they can cut what they want to cut and not cut what they don't want to cut. That's pretty obviously a reference to
Mm-hmm.
the Zoro moment.
And I
So
feel like
yeah, go ahead.
I like what you. I think you said is Rakeem, like the fact that the action of actually putting hockey on your, like seeping out hockey from your hand onto your fucking like object. It's kind of like a form of Rio, because like you're seeping out your hockey from you. It's not. It's
Uh-huh.
not. It's not internal to you anymore. That makes sense.
Exactly.
But what
So
if that's just
so
regular hockey, but then Rio is like a force field around your sword too, and then that's why
Okay,
Roger and
that
Whitebeard
would
didn't
be
clash
better. Because
Mhm,
I'm
swords?
mhm.
like, I don't
That
want
makes sense as
fucking.
well.
I don't want Smokey and like, and once I got that Smoker and Virgo to have Rio already, like, whack ass players like that, you know?
Yeah, I
So
agree.
this
Yeah.
is the way I look at it, right? Knowing that, no, like assuming that, right? The way I see it is that's what makes a black blade black, right?
I was about to say that too. Yeah.
It's that Rio, like it's your Rio mastery. You know what I mean? Like your Rio and your hardening mastery, both of those, right?
You
Whereas
literally.
if you don't have a black blade, you're just really good at hardening. Something that Katakuri is good. You know what I mean? Katakuri is really good at hardening, right? So like that's what they're good at. They're just hardening the fuck out of their blade, but they're not doing anything. They're not using Rio. You know what I mean?
Literally the way I see like Black Blade is you got external hockey, you gave it to the sword, and like you cut it off in a sense that it's the sword's now. It's not like your hockey anymore. It's like you have a constant shroud of hockey on your sword at all times. That's what a
Yeah.
Black Blade is. It's always protected. It can never break. And to do that, you
Yeah,
have to have
I
like
mean that part's obvious. It's just how the fuck do you do that?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind of
That's what I'm
impossible to
saying.
tell.
Like crazy. You have to be super master. So who was the guy we were talking about? Who's like
Luffy and Cat.
yeah, we agree.
Steve-O, do you think Cat's still stronger than Luffy?
Hell yeah. I think he
Yes,
said,
I do.
Jesus, man.
Oh, what?
You don't think the
wait,
Ryu bridged that
you
gap
just said
even?
yo,
I gotta
but
see what it does first.
Steve-O, you just said that Luffy's fighting stronger and stronger guys that would possibly mid diff fucking Katakuri, and he's
Well,
like
no,
already been
they're
trained to
not
that.
mid different. They shitting on him.
Exactly. So like, why would Katakuri still be stronger than Luffy? Like, I mean,
They shitting on
made
Luffy
no
too.
I
Then
guess.
how are they gonna beat Kaido and Big Mom?
Plum,
I don't
right?
think that they will. Like, what?
Okay, you're one of those niggas. All right.
Bro, that's crazy. You get. I feel like you're gonna be disappointed. You know what I mean?
I feel like he's gonna be really
Okay.
disappointed. Like really,
Yeah.
really disappointed.
Yeah.
But
Just off of the fact,
I'm not one of the people that's like, if things don't go my way, then this shit is trash. Like, if it's
Oh, okay. That's
good,
good
then I'll
vibes then.
appreciate it.
All right, that's good. That's
okay,
cool then.
let me add some more context to the Ryu thing because I think it's pretty fair to say that Luffy saying that his Ryu is gonna penetrate Kaido and like actually damage him. It's fair to say that that's
Mhm.
foreshadowing, so it's pretty much guaranteed to happen. Uh, I think it's kind of crazy that Luffy he could just learn Ryu in like a week or something, and then it's already strong enough to injure Kaido like that. When apparently the Marines, the Yonko, they can't really do shit to him while he's in chains. The whole lore behind Kaido makes it seem insane for Luffy to gain an ability that injures him that quickly. But
okay.
then it got kind of shit on by the Odin moment. Like it's like, does the lore even does it even hold up anymore? Kaido's durability doesn't seem nearly as impressive as it was supposed to be. So it's weird.
Yeah, the thing about that is like that makes like no sense how like all these Marines that had him chained couldn't They even say damage him. I thought it was like couldn't kill him, but like if you can like
Well, he
attack
has no
hurt him.
scars other than that, and
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
yeah, they couldn't kill him.
That's wild.
Anything that hit him, anything that hit him would break.
I don't think we should be looking for scars in One Piece. I mean, we know Luffy's been
I
fucked up
mean, had to.
beyond recognition like multiple times in the series, but he only has 2 scars, and one of them came from when he was a kid.
Yeah, but like
Yeah,
let's say
but, like,
if Kizaru can make a light sword and he can pierce Kaido, I think he would just pierce him through the chest and like pierce him 1,000 times, and then he would just be like, well, I'm just gonna keep piercing him until he dies, and then Kaido would
that's a
like
better.
he would have a bunch
Kaido
of
just
scars in him
can't die.
because such lethal attacks.
That's a
Kaido
better
just
way
can't
of
die, dude.
saying that lore got devalued.
So then, do you
It's
think he has
saying,
like some regenerative properties, which would be weird because he didn't regenerate that scar then?
he's keeping it as a memento? This is what
He
fucking
decides
Odin
to
told
keep
him.
it.
He's stronger.
What I'm saying is that I don't think you should be looking too deep into the scars.
That's fair, but at the same time, him
Luffy
having
got
no scars-
his large intestine ripped out, and there's literally nothing to show for it.
I
That's-
agree
No,
that
but
scars are inconsistent, but it
I
was
agree with
clear that the
that.
portrayal made it seem like they just couldn't do shit to him. Like they're like the spears broke, the guillotine shattered, nothing worked.
Who was he fighting? Did he ever like actually fight anyone strong? Like, and when that captured him, is fucking like Kobe
See,
level and
that's the
below.
thing. It makes it seem like they literally just tried fodder executions on him. But
Yeah.
why wouldn't they get an admiral? Like, why wouldn't they get Akainu to just like cover him in magma or something?
That's true.
No, but I agree
maybe he
with
escaped. Maybe he
Steve-O here,
escaped
though.
before that ever happened. You know, so that lore it's kind of fake news.
But then
Steve-O
it even
made a
said he
good-
got captured by
Steve-O
Yonko
made a
too.
good point.
So then the Yonko should try to do the same shit.
Yeah, but they probably like, yo, let's strike a deal, and nigga, join me, and I won't kill you. But
They
he
said
"I'll
they couldn't
leave
kill him,
you."
bro. Like that would just be the most trashiest thing ever. If it's like the Yonko and the Marines couldn't kill him, but the Yonko could kill him. They just struck a deal. Haha.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, it does not make sense why they couldn't kill him. Is my point. I'm trying to like fucking argue some shit out of my head.
Oh,
It
no,
makes sense to it.
no, but like he did take L's, right? So he did get beat up, but you know,
Yeah.
he didn't lose to Odin though. He beat Odin, even though Odin scarred him.
That's wild. How did he get captured by the Yonko? Did he just walk into their fucking thing and like get captured? They just
It's so weird, dude.
Might
Like
as
it
well.
makes it seem like he wants to 1v the world, but then against Odin, he's like, all right, I need 10,000 men minimum. We need to jump this nigga 10,000 v1.
Bro, they needed 5 years.
5 years.
that's
bro.
why the lore is whack on that. But at the same time,
Kaido's entire
think-
character just seems like a little like contradiction. It's so weird.
the Odin thing, I don't
That
think it
maybe-
devalues the lore that much because like Odin is just that nigga. So, like him being scarred by that nigga isn't crazy to me.
Yeah, apparently, like it's implying that Odin's above Primebeard.
Yeah,
what do you
that
think
too.
about that
Like,
quote?
No,
happened.
Primebeard would fucking shit on Kaido. What?
I don't trust Odin anymore with his fucking hypes because like he's not like I
Wait,
don't think he pays
wait.
attention to what he's saying.
No, I agree, Rackham, but I'm just saying the quote. Like Odin was like, "No one in this time period can beat Kaido."
What? Who said
That's what
that?
he said. Yeah.
Odin in the recent chapter. The Toki
Bro,
in the letter.
retarded, bro. The fuck? Roger would one shot that guy.
Oh, come
Maybe
on.
he meant in Wano.
No, Steve, but that doesn't make sense because it was already obvious that no one in Wano other than Odin stood a chance. So for Odin to like give that to Toki as like a final letter, like by the way, I need to tell you this before I die. This is important news. The people that we all knew couldn't beat Kaido. It turns out they can't beat Kaido. Like it makes no sense.
Maybe
That
Toki's
makes
not a
sense.
power scaler.
But they all knew because no one tried shit when Odin wasn't there in Wano. Everyone knew like they needed Odin to really fuck with him. That's why Kinemon like he got pissed at Orochi doing like those
Wait,
fucked
how
up
strong?
things.
How strong do you think Odin is?
And that's
Hello?
why like even Toki was really hesitant to like have Odin retaliate in any way. And
Yeah,
even
but that
then,
just
like,
don't make sense though.
yeah, I agree. It doesn't really make sense.
So then I got a question. How strong do you think Odin is?
See, I don't agree
Oh.
with the quote. I'm just saying it doesn't make sense to argue it's only people from Wano. Like, it pretty obvious it is just anyone. I think Odin actually thinks Kaido is stronger than Primebeard. I think that's kind of crazy, and I don't agree with it, but I think that's what the quote's supposed to imply. But I have Odin in S tier. I think it's
Odin's
like
not S.
what?
It's crazy. Odin's not S tier.
What is he then?
Bro, that guy is weak, bro. What the fuck?
What?
Him getting one shot by what's his name, Kaido like that makes me kind of question it. But I have him at S as well.
So wait. It's like Prime really would body the fuck out of that guy. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh wait, you're the
supposed
same
to
guy
do
that
that.
thinks Roger one shots Kaido. I forgot.
me?
Yeah.
No, Roger mid diffs him.
Didn't you just say one shot? You're
No, I
trolling, I
didn't say
guess.
one shot. You know what I mean? No, but like I'm saying, he just mid diffs. You know what I mean? He mid diffs him.
You think he mid
I don't know why
prime Kaido
Kaido,
too?
I don't think he made this current. I'm talking about back then Kaido, but I don't even think he got that much stronger. So
Prime
I
Whitebeard,
disagree.
and Roger
I disagree.
Prime, they would mid diff. Like Kaido's not fighting them to like an extreme diff. He's not beating them.
I think John can muted himself. I don't know if he knows. And so is Steve. This is wild, man. Like we're still on like a level below where we started.
So Draco,
What up?
who's stronger, Odin or Rayleigh? Like old Rayleigh?
Old? No, I have Odin.
Yeah, old.
I have
Why'd you
Odin's-
creditlist old Rayleigh?
How's that
fucks
creditlist?
Odin
What?
up. You're retarded, bro.
Odin's fucking. That's wild, dude. Odin's
You're
on
wild,
two
bro.
crews.
What
He
the
was the right, like the second commander for Whitebeard. He was one of the strongest commanders for fucking Roger, and like he fucking like scarred the fuck out of Kaido. Even though I don't think he would have beat Kaido.
Flashback Kaido's garbage.
Kaido is not, bro. You were fucking hyping Kaido like a month ago.
You know,
You
I'm
have an
saying
S plus.
flashback Kaido is. I'm
Bro,
saying flashback
Kaido in
Kaido's
5 years he got weaker. So there's no way like current Kaido is way stronger than flashback Kaido. You need like that's a joke that he got weaker, but it seemed like he didn't even get that much stronger at all in 5 years.
Current Kaido.
It's so
shits on
fucking stupid.
flashback
I hate
Kaido.
Oda because he fucks with power scaling. Why the fuck did he have him in his full form? Trash.
Yo, Kaido's garbage, bro. Let it go.
I agree. He's garbage, dude. The same way.
That's what I'm
everyone-
saying. I'm telling you, flashback Kaido isn't that
Flashback-
strong. I think
bro,
you guys are overhyping him.
Rayleigh currently
with
is
Odin.
like an old Rayleigh that fucking is not at his peak stats. You're talking about peak fucking Odin, who's one of the strongest swordsmen ever, Grace Wano.
Yeah,
Where
no, but
was
Odin
on-
fucks.
Come on, let's move away from Rayleigh
Old
against
really,
Odin.
old really fucks him up.
Let's move away from that. I just want to ask
That's
Rackham this. So, if Kaido didn't really get that much stronger, if stronger at all in those 5 years, what makes you think he's going to get significantly stronger in even like 10, 15, 20 years, whatever the case is?
Because that's a long while.
What?
That's
That's
a long while. My bad. I was on it, but that's a long while, right? Between
5 years is quite a bit of time. Quite a bit.
no, but I'm saying from 15 from that point to now, which is 15 years or whatever. Like, well, how many years? 20 years? No, it's more. It's like 20 years.
I mean, if he barely got stronger in those 5 years, quadruple barely getting stronger, that's not that big of a difference.
Bro, that was before Luffy was born, bro.
But he was like, what, in his early 40s? At that point, he could have easily peaked.
I don't think he was
What,
40.
bro? People peak in their like 60s, bro. 50, 60.
30, he was 30s, early 30s.
No,
something like that.
no.
No,
People peak in their
you're,
60s, bro.
you're crazy.
He's not. Is he 60 now? I thought he was in 50s now.
I think Kaido right now is like 54, right?
Yeah, and 20 years ago,
some shit like that. But I'm saying people peak in the 50s and 60s in One Piece.
Yeah, he's like with early 30s, and that happened 20 years ago.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying Kaido's not strong right now. I'm saying that Kaido was trash and that Odin is trash.
Why are you saying trash though? I know you not literally mean trash, but I feel like they were
Bro,
both
like-
very
I think he's
strong.
just trying to justify
I'll
some
give you
of
an
his
example.
statements.
Zoro right now would beat that flashback Kaido.
What?
Yeah, that's cap.
Bro,
That's
you're
fucking
crazy.
retarded.
You're
The
fucking
guy that
dumb,
one shot
bro.
Odin, retarded, bro.
Bro, how
Yo,
does he not get
yo,
any
all
stronger
I-
in
I'm gonna
5
troll
years?
you back. Yo, Rakeem, I'm gonna troll you back. Somebody just trolled us. Why did fucking Rayleigh need two with Scopper to fucking fight Odin in that flashback?
Say it again.
Why did Rayleigh need Scopper to fight Odin?
Really? And
Huh?
Scupper were sitting back, bro.
Sure, bro. Sure.
Really was
He was like,
crossing
yo,
his
I can't
arms,
handle
bro.
this,
Really, bro. Really had no scars. Look at the chapter. Really came on. Like really had no battle with nothing.
Odin had no
it was
battle
clean.
either.
Odin was fucked up. Go look it up.
It's not fucked up. Fuck
Yo,
that.
Odin was fucked up by Marco. and
Back him in
Jason
his fucking
Momoa.
Jew laugh, bro.
Trolling.
let's move on past this.
I'm not trolling. I'm just saying you guys are being retarded with this Odin shit. Odin's garbage.
Bro, it makes no sense to think Kaido doesn't get that much stronger at all in 5 years, but then apparently he just gets way stronger later on. There should be a
Bro,
significant
are we still on
boost in
Luffy?
5 years.
Yeah, we're still on Luffy.
What? So how did that get to fucking Odin? We're ridiculous. Oh yeah, I know how it did.
All right,
That's
let's move on
ridiculous.
to Kid. Let's move on to Kid.
You guys got voted. Next point. Go ahead.
Hey,
I feel like
let
kids
the
will
video
always be
speak for
on.
itself. But so Kid, the biggest piece of evidence really is Oda saying that Kid's gonna be one of the major supernovas, and he was the only supernova that Oda really planned to have big plans for. Even Law, who
Uh-huh.
ended up having a lot of shine, he didn't really plan to have Law do much. So I think it's pretty fair to say that Kid's the only like legitimate rival to Luffy. He kind of is Shiki in a lot of ways, like the new generation Shiki, just from their relationship. Like he's like the evil one of the group, or maybe not necessarily like pure evil, but
And
he's like the fucked up one of the group.
yeah, he
His
wants to take
powers
over.
it definitely has the potential to be broken. Magnetism is like what was that, like one of the 4 fundamental powers of the universe, like some bullshit like that
Yeah.
for you science guys. So it definitely has the potential to be broken. We don't really know where Oda will go with it. If it's just like making a metal hand and I shoot the metal hand, like that's fucking garbage. But I think he's gonna do some more things. What? I don't know. I've had like some theories here and there, but I don't really want to like speculate magnetism talk for my whole fucking point. So
Mhm.
I think the way I see the comparison between Luffy, Kid, and Zoro is I feel like if Luffy's 100, Kid's a 99, and Zoro's a 98. And that doesn't have to be the case right now, but generally that will be
That's
the
Carlos.
shut the fuck up. Generally that will be the scaling between them. Like end of series, I have Luffy. I have like Luffy, then Emu, then maybe Kid, Zoro, Mihawk. That might be top 5.
But Kid is weaker than Zoro, bro. I don't know what you're doing.
Why do you think he's weaker than Zoro?
But
He takes the sword away.
Zoro
Yo,
would kill him. What the fuck?
Why would he kill him? What the fuck?
Well, like, just listen, right? Because like, you guys think Zoro, like, you guys think Kid has a matchup advantage, right? That's crazy. Because all Zoro has to do is hold his blade, just hold his blades tighter. That's all he has to do. Like, his magnets aren't doing shit.
But then it's like he has like weights around his fucking body because he just has to focus more on swinging and like just holding them in place while also fighting. It's
Bro,
like it's kind of like Fuji's gravity in a way for Zoro.
he collected all that.
plus, I feel like Zoro. I mean, losing name.
Bro, he
Kids didn't have
comparing magnets to
crazy
gravity, bro.
delve,
Come on. You know what I mean?
delve mastery.
Gravity's beast. You know what I mean?
At least I'm not one of those
Magnets.
fucking idiots that are like, well, Kid will just take away Zoro's sword. Zoro can't hold it.
Babies.
That's facts. That's facts. That's fair. But
Yeah.
I'm trying to say, right, that uh, when Kid used that ability, like to bring in all the swords out of the auction, right?
Mm-hmm.
Killer was still holding his shit. He's right beside him, and Killer got bodied by Zoro. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I just wanted to say that.
we don't really know if Kid controls
Aren't they
like
attached to
every
his
individual
hands?
sword or if he's just like using a center of gravity and all metal is attracted to it. Either way,
Or if he
I
has
think when you
control.
use repel, that's much more gravitational force than him slowly bringing the swords and collecting them. So I don't really think you can say because Killer held the swords, then Zoro won't have any problem holding them in like an actual fight.
They were also attached to his hands.
Yeah, yo, you should him flying in. The guys, his magnets are trash, bro.
Maybe the fucking buckle's so strong that it's outweighed the magnetism.
Bro, Zoro's stronger than Kid. I'm just gonna tell you guys that.
I agree.
That's my opinion.
I just feel like the fight would be like not just that. It would come down to like Kid's physical feats. I mean attributes as well as his speed and shit, which could like be better than Zoro's. So I don't know about physical strength, but it could be comparable and speed wise. And his Devil Fruit can do some crazy broken shit that we don't really know. I just give him the benefit of the doubt. That's the only reason I have him up there because of the portrayal that Oda gave him comparable to Luffy. He literally went out his way to compare him and shit, you know.
Yeah,
So like
I
I
agree.
don't see him being like if any like weaker, if anything like that much weaker than Zoro or Luffy. He's on their level for sure.
I'm fine with
Whoops.
people saying Zoro's above Kid. I just think they're same level regardless. Same with Luffy.
Yep.
I feel like Zoro's like more features, but like obviously the kid's like more portrayal, and I'm very faithful in his portrayal. I mean hopeful in his portrayal. Oh, doesn't
Devo,
fuck
what
it
do you
up.
think about Kid?
It didn't help him that Zoro because Killer is garbage though. So
Kid is very strong. As for how strong,
Facts.
I mean, I guess it's up for debate. But I would place him close to Luffy personally.
I mean, that's fair
I
with the
mean,
whole rival
that's about
portrayal.
all I got.
I feel like it was a pretty obvious rivalry thing where they're comparable in the minds. One thing I will add is I thought Killer was actually gonna be a threat because I'm of the belief that if you're that
Garbage.
nigga, then like your right hand being that nigga is like the mark of you being that nigga. Like Aruj, he was like, all right, if Zoro's this much of a beast, then his captain must be this much of a beast. And then the whole Rayleigh, he's really close to Roger. Apparently Beckman's close to Shanks. Odin, he's probably close to Whitebeard in Odin's prime. I know Rackham disagrees, but fuck you, Rackham. So
Odin is garbage, bro. Come on.
I thought if Kid was gonna be that much of a beast, then it only makes sense for Killer to be a legitimate threat. But then Killer just got fucking manhandled by a heavily injured Zoro, and before that, Zoro wasn't trying. We'll get into that comparison when we talk about Killer. So Killer being this much of a disappointment, it's the only really argument I think you can make for Kid not being all that.
Yeah, that's like I agree with that. I was gonna say something else, but I completely just forgot. Wow.
Yo, I think Kid would lose to Katakuri, and
Wow.
Luffy would mid-diff Katakuri, in my opinion.
Someone kick this guy? Alright, let's talk about Zoro. I know Rackham's gonna want to talk about him.
All right, let's go. This is good vibes.
Alright, so
So we want to talk about him.
I'm basically just gonna list a lot of his feats because I know people are gonna be like, he doesn't have any feats. How are you gonna put him that high? So I'll just list all of them.
Sounds good.
So I'll bring up that comparison again with Fuji and Big Mom. How Luffy was able to equal out a punch from Big Mom and a rage punch at that with Gear Third, and then Fuji he was able to completely block a Gear Third attack, showing that physically Fuji is indeed comparable to Big Mom, a Yonko. And then Zoro, while he was lying on the floor under gravity. Mind you, gravity's so intense that it was able to make him bleed when Zoro, he tanked the multi-city block punch from Pika and was like completely fine, like it didn't even affect him. So you know this gravity is like at least massively stronger than multi-city block level to make him bleed. And so he's facing that much gravity on top of like lying down, and he's still able to output enough force to push Fuji back like 5 feet when Fuji was able to hold his own against Gear Third. Same Gear Third that clashed equally with Big Mom. I think that feat is fucking insane. And then that's not even Ashura on top of that. So I feel like with Ashura, you can put out like immense amounts of power. Like I know some people argue that Ashura isn't a mode. I don't agree with that. But even if it's not, that's still like so fucking deadly. Like you can like, I think it can one-shot Cat no problem if it lands. I know some people think that's insane, but if you just look at the scaling, like that's so much fucking power behind it. Like Ashura, when he was against Kaku, Kaku was certain that nothing Zoro did, and that's probably including the Shishi Son. Like he witnessed that. He witnessed all of Zoro's moves pretty much, other than 3,000 Worlds, and he was confident that nothing Zoro did is gonna like stand a chance against his ultimate Rankyaku. But Zoro's Ashura pretty much low diffed Kaku's ultimate Rankyaku, so it's like the scaling, at least in Kaku's mind, would be like, all right, so my ultimate attack, it low diffs any attack Zoro has, including his like really strong attacks like Shishi Son. And then Zoro's Ashura, it low diffs Kaku's ultimate attack. So like the difference between Zoro's strongest attack in his base form and Ashura, it's like fucking immense. Like it puts base Zoro to shame. So then when base Zoro already has such impressive feats while being nerfed by gravity and like lying down, the amount of force he could output with Ashura would be fucking like, it's gonna be godly. Like I don't even know what to say about it. It's gonna be so good. In terms of speed, because I don't really think I need to justify his attack output more than I did. One thing I will say other than that is he did fight Fuji again off screen, clashed evenly with him before the fight got off screen, and before he got hit by the gravity in the first fight, he clashed evenly with him again. So that's the only thing I'll say about his attack power. In terms of speed, he was able to blitz Hawkins. Yeah, Hawkins got caught off guard. He saw it midway, and he was only able to move his head like an inch. I know some people say that Hawkins, he wasn't trying to dodge, he just felt like giving up a life, but that makes no sense because when the fight started, Hawkins literally said that he's not going to fight 2 supernovas fairly. Like he needs all the advantages he can get. So for him to just waste a life when he knows he needs to like fight at his best, it really makes no sense. And it was just people trying to make excuses for Hawkins, like basic Zoro downplay that just makes zero sense and nonsensical. So he was able to speed blitz Hawkins. Hawkins is only able to move his head like a fucking inch or something, or like half an inch in the time that like half of the slash like moved halfway through. So even if you double the distance that Hawkins' head moved, he still can't dodge the attack, like not even close. So since Hawkins never like showed that he can react to Zoro's speed, as of now, the only logical conclusion to come to is that Zoro is so fast that Hawkins can't react to his speed, or like just can't keep up with it in general. And then we saw Hawkins did get blitzed by Law, but then towards the end of their fight, Hawkins was able to block a point blank attack from Law, and like physically, like he was having no problem with it either. So based on that, you could say it's pretty obvious that Oda intends Hawkins to be comparable to Law in terms of speed. And then we saw Law, he was able to keep up with Dofi to an extent. When Dofi was like doing a barrage of attacks, Law was able to block like a lot of them. So you could say Law and like Dofi, they're somewhat comparable in speed. Law and Hawkins are somewhat comparable in speed. And then Dofi was able to blitz Sanji, which is one reason why I don't understand why anyone would ever say that Sanji has better speed feats than Zoro, because Zoro blitzed someone that has comparable speed feats to the guy that blitzed Sanji. So just based off speed, that's one thing you can have going for Zoro. Like, he's massively faster than Sanji. He's like massively faster than Law, Hawkins, Dofi. And then Dofi was able to blitz Come on, Sleepo. Dofi was able to blitz Luffy as well.
My bad.
Luffy base form, maybe even gear 2, he was comparable to Dofi to some extent. And for Zoro to be above all that, it's really fucking impressive speed. So attack power is speed. I already explained why I view them very highly. In terms of endurance, I feel like you can argue that Zoro, he had a better showcasing than Luffy on Thriller Bark. And I feel like that moment, that's the one moment where you can argue, based on this, it's possible Zoro's potential is even higher than Luffy's, because he took all of Luffy's pain, was already really injured, and he didn't even fucking get knocked out from it. He was conscious the whole time, apparently. And the way I view that Luffy scene is, the reason Luffy got knocked out wasn't because he couldn't keep going. It's because he saw there was no other danger to face. So he's like, all right, I'm exhausted. I'm just going to pass out now. I feel like it was kind of similar to Zoro passing out against Killer. But even saying that, I still think it was enough damage that Luffy took for Zoro to take all that damage, and then still, while already being super injured, to survive it. I feel like you can argue that his endurance was definitely above Luffy's at that point, and maybe you can argue that that shows that his potential is above Luffy's. I'm not really sold on that yet, but it definitely shows Zoro's an endurance monster. Durability wise, we haven't really seen him block much with his haki, so it's hard to say what his top durability feats are, but he was able to tank a multi-city block punch from Pika and just be completely fine. Like, he had like a dust mark on him or some shit, like it tickled him or something. And that punch, I mean, multi-city block speaks for itself. I don't even know if Sanji tanked the multi-city block punch yet, in general. So for Zoro to be able to like no-sell an attack like that, I think it speaks a lot for what his durability is going to be when he actually uses haki. Against Killer, either he was using haki, but then if you, like, it's going to be weird because you're going to argue, like, did he haki up his organs or like what? Like, either he was using haki or he just flexed, and his durability was great enough for Killer to not even be able to pull his scythe out of Zoro's body, which is fucking insane, because Killer, even though the Zoro he was clashing with before was casual, and Killer knew it, that's why he's like, alright, you actually going to try now? Even though he was casual, he was able to clash with the casual Zoro, which I hold above Sanji, because Zoro's attack power feats in general are just so much above Sanji's that I would even put a casual Zoro's attack power above Sanji's, and Killer was able to equally clash with that. And that level of strength wasn't even enough to pull the scythe out of Zoro's body, when like Zoro, like, he's a human, he has mushy organs. Like, how the fuck is he that durable? It's fucking nuts. And was he even using haki? If he wasn't, like, holy shit, type of thing, you know? So he has a lot going for him in terms of physical stats. I feel like swordsmanship wise, like, Zoro's a beast, but I don't feel like he's the type of swordsman that relies on his skill. I feel like he's a brute. He would just like overpower you straight up, even though like he has a lot of skill and he might try to outmaneuver you. The main thing about Zoro is he's an endurance monster. He's a physical powerhouse. He's just gonna like outmuscle you, make you his bitch pretty much. That's how Zoro fights. So I don't really think his skill as a swordsman matters that much, other than like his actual like haki abilities. Unless like he's fighting Miyako or something, then like maybe his skill as a
Some
swordsman.
Roger type shit, eh? Just overpowers you.
Yeah. So like unless he's fighting Mihawk, I don't think his skill as a swordsman will matter that much. Because then against Mihawk, it'll be like, all right, this is the gap. This is someone who like he's very finesse like. But I think Mihawk's like a power fighter as well to an extent. In terms of hockey, I'm not sure if I agree that Zoro's hockey is better than Luffy's. It's really hard to say because I think the Enma feat is insane. The way they worded it, it's like, all right, no one in Wano was able to wield Enma, and like other Noden and Kyosho. I mean, not Kyosho, Kinemon. He's like, I wouldn't do that if I was you. Like, you gonna die, boy. Like he knew it was a fucking insane feat, and he knows how strong Zoro is because he was enraged at Zoro with the Shisui thing, and Zoro was just casually dodging his shit. Like Kinemon was pretty much fodder to him, and then when Zoro did the 3,000 worlds on Pika, Kinemon pretty much shit his pants. So it's pretty obvious that Kinemon knows he's fodder compared to Zoro, and he's like, all right, even you, like you shouldn't get Enma, like that's too much, bro. And then Zoro was able to not master it, but he was able to control it on the spot. So it's pretty safe to say his hockey mastery is insane. We don't really know who tried to wield Enma for people to know that you shouldn't really try to fucking grab that sword. So the lore behind it is a mystery, and I know people that like to downplay Zoro, they use that against us. They'll be like, well, no one has wielded Enma and failed. They're like, no one other than Kinemon we know will wield it and failed. So there's nothing to really compare it to. That's not even that impressive, yada yada. But just based on the way it was portrayed, it's pretty obvious that it was meant to be an insane hockey feat. And the fact that he was able to hold it like that and then master it in like a couple of days or like few days, whatever it was, it definitely speaks volumes about his hockey. Is it better than Luffy's, who's also been training his hockey? I don't really know. We'll have to see. Like they've both had like a week of training, so it's really hard to compare. So I'm not gonna say it's better than Luffy's hockey. I know Rackham has a strong opinion on that for some reason. We'll see when it comes to that. In terms of observation, I think that's his biggest weakness. We can't really compare it that much either. Rackham, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Luffy and Zoro both struggle to sense where Pico was?
I'm not sure about Luffy, but yeah, Zoro had trouble.
I know it was
But
definitely in the
Zoro
anime.
gave up after a while.
I know it was definitely in the anime.
I'm not sure about the manga.
Yeah, I'm not sure either,
Yeah,
but
I'm not sure.
that's probably his biggest weak point. We can't really like say too much
No,
on it.
Zoro isn't shit. Zoro isn't shit at observations though. Like
I
he
don't
can
agree.
sense
I don't
just
agree.
as well as other. I don't think he's shit. I think he's okay. I don't think.
Well, I don't think he's like comparable to Cat, but my thing is that I don't think being able to sense people from a far distance is really the same as having good observation when it comes to battle. Just like how I think even Eno had like insane range, I don't think his observation was that good because he was so like in a way struggling to dodge Luffy to some extent. So we'll have to really see how it works in like battle. Can't really comment on it, but yeah, I think I've talked enough about Zoro.
I just think his observations is just like as strong as Luffy's coming out the time skip, but not as strong as Katakuri or Luffy right now.
I think that's fair.
You know what I mean? I don't think it's crazy. I don't think it's really good either. But he'll work. He'll have to work on it, especially against Shiryu and Mihawk
sure.
as well.
What do you have to say about all the other stuff?
So I agree with like all that Zoro shit, but with taking the pain, I think Luffy was at his brink. You know what I mean? He couldn't take anymore and he just passed out.
Fair.
Right. And I think Zoro just took all that pain. And I think that in terms of endurance feats and durability, I think that's the best one pre-skip. But post-skip, I think Luffy has the better feats for sure. So it's a problem with Zoro. He's not getting
I don't
any
know
fights.
because Luffy's endurance feats in Marineford and Impel Down, like if you like total them up, they're pretty insane. But then Luffy also got stronger from then, so we don't know what like a fresh Zoro after Thriller Bark how much he would endure. Obviously, it would be more than he could endure back then. So maybe you could like argue like Zoro at that point he had more endurance.
That whole
than Luffy,
thing,
but
that entire thing as a whole, I could see that entire thing as a whole, I could see. But I'm just talking about as just a single moment. You know what I mean? Like that bubble.
Yeah, at that point, I would agree
shit,
that Zoro had more endurance.
Yeah, but the only thing that comes close to that, I would say, or is comparable, would be Remember when Luffy got poisoned and his whole body had to get fucking rearranged or whatever to fight that poison because of Ivankov? Like that's
Mhm.
the only thing, and he did that in like half half a day or something, 12 hours. I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but yeah,
And then
that's
even after
another
that, he
moment
got
that's
fucked up by
comparable.
Kizaru. He got fucked up by Momonga. He got fucked up by a lot of people, and he just kept going and
Yeah,
going.
yeah. So in terms of that in that entire series of events, I think yeah, Luffy has a better feat. But in terms of just a single moment, I think Zoro has the better endurance feat, in my opinion.
Okay, so do you think that maybe is grounds to say that that shows that Zoro's potential is above Luffy's?
I don't think his is above Luffy's, and the only reason I think Zoro's isn't above Luffy's is
Chosen
because
one?
of that chosen one shit. Exactly.
Yeah.
Unless Zoro gets some shit like that, but Zoro doesn't. I'm pretty sure Zoro doesn't have some shit like that.
Well, I mean,
Luffy has
we
that
can argue Luffy could be the
20
chosen
years,
one and
guys.
Zoro can be
Uh-huh.
stronger, but Luffy's just going to be the one to fulfill the prophecy.
So like the Whitebeard guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could argue that, but I would never say like that Whitebeard's stronger than Roger. You know what I mean?
Some people do.
I'd always say they're equals. You know what I mean? In my opinion.
Yeah, fair.
Like and you also notice how like people in the community they don't say it, but like they kind of think that Roger's stronger than Whitebeard. You know what I mean? Just because
Yeah,
he's
I
a
mean,
pirate king or
I think
whatever.
that as well because I think
Uh-huh.
since he's the Pirate King, Oda would just give him that respect. But it's
Okay.
weird
So
because it seemed
yeah, I
like
understand
Whitebeard
that.
didn't even use his fruit in his clash with Roger. Like I used to downplay Shanks by saying, okay, people think that the clash between Shanks and Whitebeard it proves that Shanks is equal to Old Whitebeard, and I'm like, no, it proves he's equal to Old Whitebeard without his fruit. So it would say Old Whitebeard's stronger than Shanks based on that clash. But then the clash with Roger kind of shit on it because Whitebeard wasn't even using his fruit apparently, and they still fought equally.
Mm.
So it's like, is Oda trying to tell us that Whitebeard with his fruit isn't even stronger than Whitebeard without his fruit? Or what? Or like, is he trying to say that
I
Whitebeard is
think
stronger with his fruit, but he's stronger than Roger? Like, what's the deal there?
I think that's just them greeting each other, right? That's not them going all out. I mean, they're just testing out their hockey first. You know what I mean? Just clashing their hockey, and then they're probably gonna go all out with the fruits or whatever. Like Oda
Okay.
just skip
But
that
then
whole
if
thing. You know what I
Whitebeard
mean? I
was
don't
using
think.
his fruit, then why didn't the island get destroyed?
Yeah, I fucking don't. Maybe he never even uses fruit. You know what I mean? Maybe Roger's just fighting a guy that's not using his fruit because he's scared to blow up an island. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
so you just think they weren't going all out?
Like you could argue that for sure, but I personally think how I see it is that Oda wants us to see that they're going all out. You know what I mean? Like they're just, he wants us to see that they're just comparable, right? They're
Mm-hmm.
equals. That's all. That's always what he wants us to see. He always wants to see them as equals, right? He
Yeah.
never has like Roger over Whitebeard in a scenario or Whitebeard over Roger. You know what I mean? They're just always comparable. So that's all I took from that. I didn't think about it too hard. I didn't think,
Yeah, I
oh
just think I'm looking too much into it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't look too much into it. You know what I mean? Same with like the Whitebeard and Shank shit. I don't think that's just showing them being comparable almost. You know what I mean? It's not showing that.
Uh-huh.
Uh, yeah, I don't look too far into it. You know what I mean? Unless I'm trolling.
Yeah.
But with hockey, the thing I was gonna say about Zoro's hockey is that I personally think this Ryo that Luffy learned is pre-time skip stuff. You know what I mean? He's supposed to learn uh post time skip shit. He's supposed to learn shit that would be important now. Like for example, right? Luffy learned Future Sight to be Katakuri, but Future Sight was already something from the pre-time skip, right? Like we've already seen people do that pre-time skip.
And
Um,
Admirals, though.
yeah, admirals, right? And then another thing is Ryo. We've already seen Ryo pre-time skip, right? So Luffy's right now is catching up in terms of hockey, right? The thing Luffy needs to learn for his power-ups is post-time skip shit. So like awakening, you know what I mean? Or like that Roger Whitebeard level Rio clash. You know what I mean? So that's the
I don't
shit
know
that
if you'll
Luffy
get
needs
that
to
in
learn right now.
Wano.
I don't think he'll get to their level, but he'll get there. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah,
He'll
he'll
get.
get the ability, but it's not really
Yeah,
comparable
do
yet.
you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Do you
yeah, I
understand
get
what I'm
you.
saying? Like I don't think he's gonna be like. That's what I'm trying to say about Luffy. That's why I always said that Luffy's hockey,
Actually,
I
I
think,
disagree with
is
what I
weaker than
said
Zoro's.
because I feel like because of Tengu's words where he's like he saw Zoro training for like 3 seconds, he's like, oh shit, this guy's gonna make Enma a black blade. Like after seeing him train for like
Mm-hmm.
3 seconds, he already came to that conclusion. I feel like after that, Zoro has to make his blade black in this arc. So if Zoro's hockey improves that much to where he makes it black when even Roger didn't have a black blade, I feel like it's definitely fair to say that Luffy gets that ability.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, right? So,
Yeah, sure, sure you
and
were.
another thing is that another thing is that Zoro, he's already been doing this shit, right? He's been like the thing that sets him apart from Luffy is that he's doing pre-time skip shit and the pre-time skip. Like he used Rio pre-time skip. He didn't just learn it now. You know what I mean? Uh, he did all that. Now post time skip, he's trying to get post time skip shit. I think Zoro right now is working towards that Roger Whitebeard hockey. You know what I mean? Like that Rio hockey. You know what I mean? Like you know how like you know how like those black flames followed their blades right
Mm-hmm.
before they hit each other.
Yeah.
Zoro's doing something similar to that. You kind of see it. You know what I mean? So Zoro's kind of working his way to that, and the Animal Blade is going to help him with that. Like, what do you think about that personally?
I don't really. My thing is that yeah, he was technically using Rio with Lion Song. I'm gonna stop being a weeb and calling it Shishi Son. He's technically using Rio, but I still think he had a hard time learning regular armament, just like Luffy did. Though I think since his teacher is Mihawk, I feel like he's more compatible to learn with Mihawk than Luffy is with Rayleigh. So I do agree
Uh-huh.
that Zoro, like he armament wise, he learned at a faster pace than Luffy. So the thing is, I don't know if he could use Rio coming out of the time skip because I still kind of maintain that opinion that just hockeying up your weapon isn't exactly Rio because like Draco said, like all right, Smoker and Virgo can use Rio, but Luffy can't, and he had to like work so hard to get it with the whole Big Mom like hockey blooming shit. That just seems very off. So
Yeah.
I wasn't like convinced on this to begin with, but I think like now, yeah, like putting hockey on your blade isn't exactly Rio, but maybe you have a force field on your blade, just like you would if you used Rio on your body. So I'm not exactly sure if Zoro knew Rio from the jump, but then the thing is that with Enma, it said he is gonna suck up his Rio, right? Like those exact words.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's the biggest piece of evidence to say, okay, maybe he did know Rio from the jump, which I think is a fair assessment because, like I said, he's really compatible with
Do you want
Mihawk
to know
or
what
Swordsman.
confirms he has Rio from the jump?
Go ahead.
All right. So you understand that Rio is outside the body, right? It's taking your hockey outside the body,
Yeah,
right?
and by the way,
Like
I'm not
that.
just
Yeah.
saying for Lion Song. I'm saying like just being able to use Rio in general, like in a straight up fight.
So what I'm trying to say is, do you remember where he went against Monet?
Uh huh.
All right. So remember how he slashed her with an air? He hurt her with an air slash.
Yeah.
And the only way to hurt someone that's a Logia with a slash, with an air slash, right, is if you imbue hockey into that air slash, right? But again, an air slash is outside the body. Like it's an air slash is not a regular slash, right? No sword is coming into contact with Monet, right? Like
I feel like I
so,
know what you're
all
gonna
all it
say, but
means
then
all it means
the
is hockey was on that sword slash, on that air
yeah.
slash. So that means he sent the hockey outside his body. That's Rio. That's Zoro
Okay,
using
but that
Rio.
goes back to what I said about I don't necessarily know if just sending the hockey into your sword or weapon if that's necessarily Rio because I don't feel like it's fair to say Smoker and Virgo have Rio.
Well, Smoker and Virgo. Virgo
Yeah,
did that?
well Virgo hockeyed up his weapon, and that'd be like the same like
No, no,
line of
no, no, no.
reasoning.
So you're misunderstanding something. So that's hardening. Hardening never leaves the skin. So for, Zoro can harden his blade, right? That's not Rio. So just hardening your blade or your weapon or whatever, that's not Rio. What Rio is like the outside part, the thing that's like an aura, right? It's the thing that surrounds you or your weapon or whatever, right? You can put Rio on a weapon, and that's what surrounds the blade,
Yeah,
right?
I
So
know
what
that.
I'm saying is that Zoro sends out a slash, and then and on the slash he puts on the Rio hockey, right? Because you can't put hardening on something that leaves your body. Like hardening doesn't leave your body. Rio leaves your body. So the only way Zoro could hurt Monet is with Rio.
Well,
You understand?
couldn't the Amazon warriors they like use hardening arrows that leaves
Yeah,
their
they use
body?
Rio.
Okay, you're gonna say they all knew Rio.
Yeah, no. Rio's not some Ri- Rio's not some super hard technique to learn. I personally think, right? What I think it is it's specific to you. Like a brawler won't typically learn Rio first, right? Because they're a brawler. They're gonna typically learn ornaments. You know what I mean? They're gonna learn observations to dodge. Whereas swordsmen, they're really gonna go deep into ornaments, right? And
Hmm.
you saw how Hyogoro was the one to teach Luffy about Rio, right? Hyogoro was the one to teach him about it. But even Hyogoro he's like that third tier, that collar shit. That's high tier to me, right? So two Hyogoro, who's fodder basically. This guy's like a mid tier guy. To him, high tier shit is the collar shit, right? But that's not high tier shit. High tier shit is the Roger and Whitebeard shit, where like the fucking Black Flames follow their swords and shit, right? That's high tier shit. What Luffy has right now is just mid tier shit. He has whatever Kaido probably has. I don't know if Kaido can do that high tier shit. Well, probably Whitebeard did, right?
Yeah, we'll
But
see.
we'll see. But all I'm saying is that Zoro has already learned that. Like Zoro's already done that. Like who do you think is a better teacher, Mihawk or Hyogoro?
I mean, I don't even need to answer that.
Yeah, it's like Mihawk, bro. Mihawk, like imagine Mihawk's teaching Zoro about Ryo. He teach him about like the crazy shit. You know what I mean? Like it's not close,
Okay, let me
right?
just say this. I don't really buy the teacher example completely because I feel like Rayleigh, especially if Luffy was able to learn Future Sight in 12 hours, I feel like Rayleigh should be able to teach him way more than the basics in like maybe even a week. I feel like it's fucking ridiculous that someone of Luffy's potential, it took him like not 2 years exactly, but like a year and like a half to learn just the basics. I feel like that's fucking
Mm-hmm.
stupid. So I feel
Mm-hmm.
like it's inconsistent when it comes to the teachers, so I don't really think you can just make a direct comparison like, oh, Miyak's better than Hyo, so then Zoro learned Rio in like a week or something.
What I think is that it also comes down to Luffy having a devil fruit as well, right? Because it's not just Luffy learning hockey; he's kind of incorporating that hockey with his devil fruit. Like Zoro can't. Zoro's not good at that at all because he has no devil fruit, right? It's like Zoro can't do no those flame shit that appears on Luffy, Katakuri, and Big Mom,
Regardless, I
right?
still think it's ridiculous for it to take 2 years for Luffy, or 1.5, whatever you want to say.
No, but didn't really train him for a bit. Like you trained him for like 6 months or some shit.
Even then,
Yeah,
like
so really
Future
train him
Sight in
for a
12
bit.
hours, like that's insane.
Luffy game Future Saiyan 12 hours?
Yeah,
No, but I don't think that's too insane because that's just what's it called? That's just how a battle is. You know what I mean? Like battles will always be better than training. Like in my
okay, so
opinion,
why didn't Rayleigh just beat his ass and like leave him near death and do that repeatedly? Luffy would
over
be
and
Pirate
over,
King level in like a week.
over and over.
Yeah, you'd be Pirate King level in like a week, bro.
Hey, he probably, I think Luffy did do that for not with Rayleigh, but with the animals. Remember, you know how Rayleigh left? He started doing that with the animals, and that's how he got Gear 4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, yeah, I think Luffy did do that for a bit, but I don't think you know how you're making fun of it. That did happen, like in Dragon Ball Z, where like Vegeta was like, "Shoot me in the stomach" or whatever.
Uh,
I mean,
yeah.
so but you can't keep doing that over and over. You know what I mean? You do it a couple of times.
I mean, just give
Yeah,
Luffy some meat and he'll be good to go. Give
yeah,
him some milk
exactly.
too. Like he's fine, bro. He's good.
Like
Gucci.
Zenkai boost and shit, but
Yeah. One thing I will mention is I don't exactly know if harding your weapon, it's not taking the hockey out of your body because I know you're probably gonna argue, well, if they're not grabbing the weapon, then the hardening is gonna go away. I'm not sure about that. I feel like if Smoker drops his GT, it might still be hardened, and that would be my argument for why I don't know if.
I disagree with that completely. I don't think that's
Okay, yeah,
possible.
I knew you were gonna say that, but that would be my argument for why him doing the air slash on Monet, maybe that's not confirmed Rio, maybe that's just normal hockey because you can just send normal hockey outside your body to begin with.
Okay, then what's an example of that? Sending normal hockey outside your body.
Well, if you're gonna say like when the weapon isn't touching the body, then I have no examples, but I feel like just being able to send it outside of your body onto the weapon, even if you're grabbing the weapon, it's still technically sending it outside your body.
No, so just think of it this way, right? Let's say I'm Zoro, right? I have the sword with me. I have the sword with me, right? I put
Mm-hmm.
hockey on the sword, right? I put hardening on the sword, and I just slash down, right? So my blade, I mean I'm holding the sword in my hand, right? So I'm transferring the hockey from my hand to the sword. So I'm directly touching the sword, and the sword directly touches whatever, some Logia, Monet or whatever, right? So it directly touches Monet. So Monet is linked to me through the sword, right? So that's how my hockey touches her, and that's how it cuts
Yeah,
her,
I knew you were gonna argue that.
right? So that's how I see hardening as, right? Whereas Rio, it's just around you. You know what I mean? You put Rio around the blade, right? And then once Rio's around the blade, you can swing your sword and you send that Rio hockey at someone. It's crazy. Come on, man.
Yeah, my argument is just even if it's linked, you're still technically sending the hockey outside your body onto something else. So that would be my reasoning for why maybe him sending hockey outside his body isn't like confirmed proof he has Rio, though I don't necessarily disagree that he had Rio. I'm not exactly sold on it. So I don't think we need to like go back and forth over if he had Rio or not.
Okay.
One thing I want to mention before I
So you
forget.
think when Zoro
Real quick before I
when
forget.
Zoro, all right, go ahead.
Sabo, he
Mhm.
clashed with Fuji, and Zoro basically did the same thing except Sabo he didn't overpower him, but Zoro did, and like I said, under gravity while laying down. So Zoro had better feats against Fuji than Sabo did, and people just give Sabo like insta first commander plus, like not even a question. They're like, well, Zoro hasn't even proven he's commander level. I just feel like the double standards for Zoro are like fucking disgusting.
For Zoro?
Yeah, like people fucking grossly overhype the Sabo thing, him going toe to toe with Fuji, and then just
Oh
underrate the
yeah,
shit out of it for Zoro.
whenever Zoro does it, they look down and they're like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
someone else did
When
it. You know
Sabo
what I mean?
does it, he's like, okay, he's first commander level plus, no question. Like I don't even need to doubt it. And when Zoro does it, they're like, well, he hasn't even proven he's third commander level.
Yeah, but they always do that. It's
Yeah,
like same as Kobe. You know what I mean? I think Kobe's trash, but people think he's strong. People think he's stronger than Boa. It's crazy to me.
yeah.
Boa can fuck him up.
I know we disagree on Boa's placement because I think she's pretty trash as well, but we're not gonna get to that. If
What,
anything,
bro? Boa is right,
don't even
bro.
start with
She
me,
would
bro.
mid diff. Boa would mid diff category.
Don't even fucking start with me, dude.
She'd mid diff. She'd mid diff King as well. Like she's a monster.
Do you have anything else to say about Zoro?
Zoro. I think when it comes to Zoro, I think you got him placed right. I think you kind of got him placed right. I
Do you think
personally
him
have.
being 2 spots above Cat is fair?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think. Let's see what I have. I have Luffy a tier above Zoro, just like just a tier. But I think Zoro has better hockey. He's just been getting
You
better
trade
at
the
the end of the
Brotherhood.
blade,
You
right?
said they were same tier. You bastard. Bastardo.
No, they're the same tier, but they're not. What's it called? Like one would be A plus, the other's like A. You know what I mean?
Oh, so they're basically the same tier, but not the same tier. Okay.
Basically. So like Zoro, he still has the Emma Blade, so that he still hasn't got a power up. That just the Emma Blade is a nerf, basically. You know what I mean? Until he makes a Black Blade.
Yeah, basically like weight training.
Yeah, it's basically
I
weight
don't know
training.
until he
Yes.
gets the Black Blade. I feel like it's already gotten him to the point where he's stronger than he was before after this like week of training.
Bro, he's stronger than Flashback Kaido. I'm trying to tell you that, right? Flashback Kaido is
Rackham, just keep
garbage.
talking about Zoro, you piece of shit.
Yeah, but like for some reason, I don't know why you have Katakuri so low. I think Katakuri isn't that weak.
Well, you said Luffy mid diffs him, so I feel like Luffy being 2 tiers above Cat, if anything, even maybe 3 if he mid diffs him is kind of fair. So then, if
Well,
you
that's
agree
true.
that Zoro
Mid-dip.
and Luffy being same tier, maybe if like you don't have them exactly same tier, but you could see why they're same tier, I feel like you can come to a realization for why Zoro would be 2 tiers above Cat if like all those prerequisites meet.
So I do have Zoro above Katakuri. I think Zoro high diffs him. But that's because of matchup, though. Like I think Zoro's gonna have a harder time.
Okay, yeah, I can see that because Zoro like he does better against people that fight head on, and Cat he's gonna like dodge a lot
Yeah,
of
like
attacks.
exactly. Like for example, like Zoro's gonna do better against like Zoro. That's why Zoro beats Flashback Kaido, but Luffy loses to Flashback Kaido because of matchup.
Stop fucking mentioning Flashback Kaido.
But I don't know why you have I have him and Odin so high. Like I'm just confused. You know what
I already explained it, you fucking troll.
I mean, bro? And for some reason, right? For some reason, you have Rio. You don't understand Rio that well as well. You know what I mean? I gotta explain this shit to you later. You know what I mean? I'll kind of explain this shit. We kind of
I don't care, to be
come
honest.
to an
I just
understanding.
want to see them actually using their new hockey abilities the next time we see them, because we just don't know at this point.
So something else I was gonna say is that that's Blackbeard with the fruit, right?
A plus, or if you're talking about A, that's Blackbeard without the fruit.
So
A plus is Blackbeard with the
so
fruit.
the one A plus, A plus, A plus.
Yeah.
That's with the fruit.
Yeah, that's with the darkness fruit.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah. Actually, kind of. Well, I think again Magellan. We already talked about Magellan, but I think he wouldn't be that
Yeah,
much higher
we
than
don't need to go
Magellan.
over that. We'll go over it
Okay,
later in another part.
next. Joju. I think Joju's garbage.
Let's just talk about Zoro, because we're gonna mention those people in another part.
All
I
right, what about
disagree with
Zoro?
Josu heavily though.
What about him? I think we
Well,
talked about him enough.
yeah, I'm saying, do you have anything else to say? If not, then we can let Steve end it off.
Sure, I'm done.
Okay,
Go ahead,
Steve-O,
Steve.
you got anything else to say about Zoro? I know you're probably gonna disagree heavily with us. I'm not really in the
Well,
mood to argue after how much we talked though, but I might refute a thing or two.
I didn't say anything, so I don't have anything else, but I do have something to say.
Go ahead.
Um, I guess Zoro is a very strong combatant in the verse of One Piece.
Hmm.
And as far as his placement on this list,
if
I
you put him
take
same tier as
exception.
Sanji, we can't be friends anymore.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't put him where you put Sanji, obviously, but I would move Sanji up.
There's no way you move Sanji more than C plus though, right?
Why not?
Over Law? Killer?
Why is Law a Killer way down there?
Look at the people above him. Fucking Ashura Doji, who was able to clash with commanders, while Law got a little diff by Dofi.
Well, I mean, that's a little different.
But Dofi's a
No,
beast,
that's a
bro.
little different. No, it's not.
It's a little
Dofi's right
different.
hand level. Dofi's right hand.
There's definitely some trauma there. Not to mention that Dofi knows everything about his fruit.
Facts. And Dofi
and
mid
I would
diffs kind of cracker.
And I would imagine that Law is a lot stronger now.
Wait, okay, if you're gonna say he's a lot stronger, then maybe he goes up, but I don't really see it.
I mean, even saying that he got stronger anyway, I believe, would mean that he's better than he was back then. And
Yeah,
I don't
but it
think
doesn't
his
necessarily have
showing
to boost
against
him up a whole
Doflamingo
tier.
is like all encompassing because of the context.
Still, I think a low diff is like such a big disparity that even with all the excuses you make for Law, you still look pathetic compared to him. So if you say like Dofi's third commander level, I know Rackham thinks he's first, and then if he's in the next one, we can debate that. But for Law to have such a pathetic performance against a third commander level person, I think it's definitely fair to put Shuten Maru, who clashed with Jack, equally above Law. I think if anything, putting him only one tier above Law is like disrespectful in a way.
I agree with Steve on this. I think you have a lot too low.
Well, look at your fucking list. You have Sanji on the same level as Kyoshiro. Like, you can go kill yourself.
Yeah, Sanji's a fucking beast, bro. Come on, with the red suit. Come on,
bro.
Yeah, man, Sanji's an animal, dude. Like, why you disrespect Sanji so bad? And I know Oda does it.
We can talk about it when we get to him.
You have no swordsman. You have no swordsman Zoro. 2 tiers above Law.
Facts, yo, facts. Big fucking facts, dude. What do you mean?
You got Zoro with the seppuku knife on the same tier as Dofi.
Yo!
That's disrespectful, man.
Bro, Zoro's a physical monster, dude. What do you mean?
I mean, he is, but
he's gonna take out the Ashura and go 9 knife style. What are you talking about?
That's ridiculous.
He's gonna not have any weapons go Ashura and be like fucking Ashura from Ashura's Wrath and just fucking pummel the shit out of Dofi, bro. I don't know what you're talking about.
Bro, Steve was like choosing his words too, you know, because even though he said the craziest shit.
So I wouldn't have Zoro there. I would move him down. Ideally, I would say he's like B plus, maybe A minus. And then,
so do you think he's gonna be cracker?
Yeah, at this point, I think he would like maybe not right now, but I think like once Zoro gets to the point to where his progression for this arc is complete, I think he'll be enough to beat Cracker, in my opinion.
Okay. I mean, I'm disgusted, but I see why you
I agree with
your opinions have him there. What do you think about the Zoro and Sabo comparisons? People just give him like insta first commander level plus for what he did against Fuji, and then Zoro was more impressive against Fuji than Sabo was.
Well, you already know how I feel about his exchanges with Fuji. I think that was just Oda jacking him off for whatever reason. Because, I mean, it really doesn't make any sense. For the reason that you just said. He looked better than Sabo, which is like...
I mean, Zoro's just that nigga. What can I say? No sword style beating Dofi.
Bro, he looked better than his captain. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, he's that nigga, bro. Zoro's that guy.
All right. If you say so. Maybe Zoro's stronger than Luffy, man. Maybe Oda's getting ready for like a big reveal. Like,
because you're a little careless, you know. Sometimes
I'm ready, bro. I'm ready. But yeah,
like, I don't know, man. It's pretty ridiculous to me.
Yeah, I can see why you think it was ridiculous, but I feel like there's a lot of evidence that suggests that's the case. But yeah, I'm ending it there. Fuck that shit.